The saga continues. Whoa, wait, what the fuck is going on here? Who are you?
Hey, guy, what's up, man?
This is why they don't ask Leon and I to do impressions, because we just
What?
can't.
We need Grant here. He does the co-host.
Because all your impressions sound the same. Like, you want to hear my impression of anybody? Hey, how you doing? I'm Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart.
Hi, I'm Samuel Jackson. Hi. Some motherfucking sticks on a plane.
I'm the same way. I got three voices. Mine, the Satan voice, the Bible voice.
No,
but I can't do impressions.
No, what's funny is every time you do an accent, it sounds Russian. No matter what it is.
You can go
It can be Mexican, Chinese.
I know.
Yes, Annie, we can sell the droids and the slaves.
No, it's true. I'm the Kevin Costner of podcasting.
Oh, yeah, no. Every time you do an impression, it turns into a Jewish person.
Or something. Sometimes it's redneck. I do slip into the redneck one. I'll
Well,
start off doing like Mamma Mia, and for the end I was like, won't you get these kids the hell out of here?
Oh, shit, that's your heritage coming out.
Yeah. From West
Yeah, I
Virginia.
can't help it. No, Virginia.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know what? Virginia's the only place that makes a distinction between Virginia and West Virginia.
You might be right, but the important
what?
distinction for me is I got the fuck out of there a long time ago, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Most of your teeth, too.
Yeah, but you still smell like a mayonnaise sandwich. So.
Oh, man, mayonnaise is good.
Okay. The co-host is not here. We actually mailed the co-host off to France.
Yeah, this is like the end of a Terminator movie. He sank into the magma, and if he had a thumb, he would have put it up right before he went down.
Instead, it was his ass hanging out the magma when he's going down.
You know, it's funny because it is like so many movies where they have the villain, like they finally put him down. They don't never just box him up and mail him somewhere. And that's what we finally did.
Well, you know what really happened? It's like I mailed him off to France, but right now it's like the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's being put in a warehouse somewhere. Woo! But so while he's being mailed off, because I'm going to rendezvous. There's the French word.
Check that out.
I'm going to rendezvous with him in London for the London party this weekend. So he's not here to do.
Let's
do this. Yes.
So Nick Hodges is getting everything ready right now, huh?
At last minute, yeah, he's scraping. No, I talked to Nick. He has it all together as of like 24 hours ago.
A couple of quid, eh?
Get a couple of birds in there, you know.
Party on, Nick.
Yeah, no, so Nick Hodges in lovely London town. He's getting a party together, so I'm going to hook up with the co-host there. But right now, I don't have anybody to let's do this with, so
Damn.
I figured I need somebody here.
Well, what'd you call us over here for?
Because there was nobody else. and let me tell you something.
To do what? What are we going to do?
Because Carlisle is enough for 1 week, and I don't need him again.
Come on, you don't want to. Come on, ask the people. Don't y'all want a double shot of Carlisle for 1 week?
Hold on, you can edit in sounds of crickets here, right?
No, you can edit in me saying hell no. I speak for everybody, and when I speak for everybody, I speak for me. But
okay.
No, so
let's get this 4-hour epic version of Let's Do This.
Oh, we don't have to do that. What we usually do. Look, I want to spare you guys the usual. I don't want to subject you to the goat playing the guitar. Yeah, I don't want to subject you to screaming "Let's do this" at the top of our lungs. I don't want to.
Looking forward to that.
I don't want. Oh, okay. You know what? If you guys want to do that, that's fine.
If we could shave a couple of hours off of it, because I know, like, I'll be listening to y'all's podcast, and I'll come over here to see you, and y'all still be recording it.
Yeah, that same one.
Yeah, same one. Yeah.
But wait, how do y'all wait? Don't ask. Yeah, don't. Hey, you didn't ask how it worked in Terminator. Don't ask it. But so yeah, what I was hoping to do here. Now everybody said they want us to do a email show.
Yeah,
where we mostly read email, and I was like, well, you know what? This week has been so fast, and I've been having to prepare a lot of stuff this week that I just haven't had time to look up anything to talk about.
You haven't even looked at the emails, I bet.
I have not. I have not looked at my page, the emails, or anything else on that site except for what I've had to update. I think the last thing I looked at was Dance Flick that they had to edit for co-host. So unless anybody has anything they want to talk about, then I'll figure that we just go on and jump into some email.
I've already gone on at length on the site about how I feel about the Buffy remake, so we'll just go on.
Oh no, you ain't bringing no, we ain't bringing none of that League of Extremely dorky dorks here.
Hey, even on the League of Extremely Ordinary Gentlemen, we ain't talking about that.
Okay. I think I think there's some things. Damn, Leon, you sweating? Hi, sitting back there. Say hi. Hi, the Asian guy. Hi's back there.
Hi, the Asian guy.
Yeah, where's my gong?
Yeah. Dun.
What's happening, hot stuff?
This will be your catchphrase. You want fortune cookie?
Hi doesn't have that gay accent. Although he's not really a boss.
You know what?
Think about it.
it's funny because the people are like, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
Oh, that's true. Well, when you listen to our review for The Hangover, this will all make sense to you.
Well, you know something.
This is like Lost.
Before
you
we
get a little piece now, and then later you go, oh yeah,
It'll all come together.
That's how it is when I'm editing these things with you guys. It's like I have to go back in time, speed up in the podcast, bring something back in the beginning. And
What, I get shit for bringing up Buffy? He doesn't get anything for Lost? That's not fair.
No,
That's
he,
unbalanced.
Because he cut that shit short. That's why. He pretty much said Lost. It's crazy. And that was it. Meanwhile, you were like, Buffy.
Yeah,
But-
I went on for a whole 25 seconds. Damn, we only got 3 hours and 56 minutes to go.
25 seconds. That's too long. You got too much to do.
So you over there sweating, boy.
What? Did you turn the air conditioner off?
Yeah, I did. And High up there said, you look like Samuel Jackson in Black Snake Moan. And what is it that makes you sweat every time you come in here?
The heat.
Yeah.
But everybody else is dry as a fucking bone. You sitting up there looking like a swamp rat up there sweating and shit. And I'm like, damn, Leon, what's going on, man?
I got a high metabolism. What you want me
Looking
to say?
like
He's got that giant afro. He's just sweating out from that thing.
Look like somebody make you do this podcast at gunpoint. You're just sweating and shit.
Maybe that's just soul glow coming out.
Yeah, that's his activator coming down. Look, he had the first thing when he sat down. People usually say, "Could I have a glass of water, or do you have a beer, or some snacks?" And Leon's like, "Do you have a towel? Because I'm wet than a motherfucker right now."
I need a bigger motherfucking picker-upper.
Yeah, exactly.
My hero Louis Armstrong used to carry a towel. That's why I like to have one.
Damn, I need to get you a.
Good is sitting alone in your room. Come hear the music play.
Wow, that actually did sound like Louis Armstrong.
And I think he dropped a deuce in that chair right there. He was doing that. Fucking vein showed up in his neck. But I'm gonna get you a sham wow for your birthday, so you can wipe yourself up with that
I go through one of those every week. So.
every week.
You better buy a case.
Yeah, he has like a tissue box full of sham wow. So he just fresh.
He runs that ShamWow through its expiration date in minutes. Fuck this.
Even that sham wow, we talking about sham wow. Shit. You all right? He looked at his beard like. Yeah.
And weren't you saying just the other day when you do the podcast you leave the air conditioning on?
Not when I come over.
Apparently not. 'Cause
No, I
it's
don't.
Funny to watch you sweat.
Not when I can see Leon swimming in his own juices over there.
It's like Frosty Snowman. Like, whew, is it hot in here?
You look like those. Look, I don't want to be.
I don't want to go on about this. For
I
the next
don't want
hour
to be
or so.
racist and go on about this, but there are some black people who, every time you see them, they are moist. It's like everybody knows that if you black, you always have that one black person that works at the gas station or the rib joint you go to or something. He's always wet. Like even in the wintertime, that
Right,
brother's
but
like
the
soap.
alternative would be the ashy one. So at least I'm not that.
Oh no, you're not. That's funny. You got yin and yang. You got wet Negro over here, and then you got ashy
you.
Negro. Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but I also don't feel like I'm allowed to talk about it. So
No,
Okay,
you can't.
We're gonna write a movie about a cop, a buddy cop movie with ashy Negro and moist Negro.
with their funny sidekick, High the Asian guy.
Exactly.
Ashy and the
Snuggie
moist
bear.
Negro. You can talk about it. You know
Rush
what?
Hour 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
please don't even say that out loud. Jesus Christ, what are you trying to do?
Okay, now Cyrus, you were from I'm sure over in West Virginia, Virginia, right? I'm sure when you were like lynching that 2 or 3 black people that you were doing before they died, you saw their knees hanging from the rope and their knees was all like
We
white.
didn't kill him. We just raped him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Come on.
okay. Well, then you know how rough that ass was when you went up in there. And then that's what it was. They could have used some Vaseline, ashiness.
I thought I was wearing a French tickler.
Okay, all right. You know what? Let's move on now. Hey, see, now you have a taste. It's like this long 20-minute intro that co-hosts do not do. Like we like saying, people, welcome to Let's Do This. We do this, and then all of a sudden, co-host will latch on something, and he
And it just goes.
like that one time we were like saying, okay, people, we gonna get ready for Let's Do This. Co-host, you making it sound like a monkey. Oh man, you hear about that chimp that attacked the woman, took her face off, and the next thing you know, we talking about the chimp apocalypse going on. That was
shit.
20
Oh,
minutes.
is that where that came from?
The chimpocalypse? Yes.
That shit is scary, dude. Chimps
No.
all of a sudden have decided that they want our nuts. They just want them. They're coming after them.
Well,
And they're
that's
ripping them
the
off.
weird thing about that. It's like every time there's a chip attack, they go for the same things. They go for hands, nuts, and eyes.
and nose.
And nose, yeah.
you're going to see a chimp one day walking down the street with a pair of fake eyes and nose and some nuts hanging down.
That's what it is. They have this universal plan to build their own human skin. They're going to infiltrate us. I don't know.
The chimp would be like, it'd be like Planet of the Apes, and the lead chimp would be like, I built this human being all from nutsack and a pair of eyes.
You'll get captured by a chimp one day and be in a pit, and it's going, ah, ah, ah! Translation, it rubs the lotion on its back.
I don't know though, man. It's like it feels more like a zombie apocalypse where they are. I think maybe the zombie virus only goes to chimps. It'll be like this big dawn of the woo-woo!
Well, you know what? They did say the last chimp attack happened when that chimp was on some Xanax.
True. And Xanax and wine.
And wine?
And wine, yeah.
Well, you think that would just make him pass the fuck out. Who the hell gets all aggressive on Xanax?
Wait, you ask that? Who the fuck serves that chimp wine?
Well, here's the thing. When chimps are like docile until they turn into teenagers. And you imagine what a pain in the ass a teenager is with those hormones flowing. Chimps are even worse. Plus, they got the strength of like 8 retarded men. and like some people, they'll say like, well, you give them Xanax to calm them down. Sometimes it might calm them down. Sometimes their chemistry is different, and you mix wine with it. It really goes completely off. It makes them completely unpredictable.
Well, it's funny because when they said the chimp had Xanax and wine, what I'm picturing in my mind is like this chimp was sitting at a nice steak dinner, drinking a glass of wine, all civilized, like, oh yes, a nice
red
tenderloin, yes, and then all of a sudden, like somebody slipped a Xanax in his shit. He's like, oh, it's so dry. Fuck you, bitch! Sitting chimp to the fucking mind and goes fucking crazy. But yeah, that's where the chimpocalypse came from. It's like
people never watch movies apparently because you cannot put chimps in suits without them eventually going crazy unless their boss is Clint Eastwood.
Well, that was an orangutan.
Yeah.
See,
it's still a great
apes of any kind. Yes.
Orangutan sitting back being like, God damn, man, we all chill out, man.
Orangutan does seem kind of like the stoner of the chimp family or the ape family or whatever the fuck it is. Right?
Orangutan, you know what? I swear, if you took an orangutan and put a game controller in his hand, he'd look like any fat nerd sitting at his couch playing Xbox.
Did I tell you guys about? I mean, I know people on the podcast don't know, but Johnny Neal's living over in India, and he
moved back.
Huh?
He moved back?
Yeah, he moved back.
See, Mr. Random over here. We have a friend named Johnny Neal.
But I have a story that connects to this.
Who came? Johnny Neal was friends with us back in our cable access days.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, Johnny Neal is living over in fucking India.
Well,
man.
he was living in India for 2.5 years.
Is he back
now? He just recently came back.
Did he grow an extra arm or anything before he got back?
No, they kicked him out because he ripped the face and nuts off a monkey.
He fucking hated it. You know what?
Reverse discrimination.
He wasn't going to sit and wait around for that shit to happen to him.
Counterattack, yeah. He came back with a monkey nutsack and a pair of monkey eyeballs.
He lived in Bangalore, and it's funny because when I was like, "Hey man, you should go see Slumdog Millionaire," and he's like, "Yeah, I saw it, and trust me, that's like Disneyland compared to what India's really like."
Oh.
But he was miserable the whole time he was there. But he loves to take pictures, and he has this little Homer action figure. He does kind of a flat Stanley thing, like gets in all these exotic places, takes a picture of like the pyramids, but there's that Homer Simpson right there in the picture. He's on a balcony. There's all these monkeys around. There's one gibbon, and gibbons are huge, and he sets it out there, and the thing kind of looks at the Homer. It's fascinated, and he snaps a picture of the gibbon, gets a good shot of it. But then he's like, I think this thing's going to want it, so he goes to grab it. And suddenly, that gibbon's eyes lit up because it wanted that Homer Simpson. And it fucking ran at him and got pissed off and got in his face and just like, ah! And he said he cruised curled up in a ball. He was just like, please. Oh.
Yeah, he's looking down the ground. Don't kill me, man.
Yeah. I mean, he said he was like, he could just see. He's like, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with my face torn off by this ape. And I'm gonna be, either be dead or embarrassed. And he said he looked up and that thing just looked at him like, you fucking pussy. It's not even worth it. And just ran off.
I gotta say though, I kind of side with the gibbon. Like I missed the 3rd Burger King collector Star Trek class, and I was coming out of the restaurant, and this kid had like the last one, and the rest. I swear, you should have seen me, man. It wasn't pretty. I was like,
and that kid beat your ass. Make my goddamn ass.
Totally.
That's what that gibbon did to John. Because that gibbon looked at John
Kid
like
ripped off my face and nuts.
Yeah, he took your face. The kid took your face and nuts.
True.
You don't deserve these.
I'm still negotiating to get them back.
There's the kid walking around with your face right now.
It's true. And I got the kid's face. I bet you were wondering. When I came in, you're like, who the fuck are you?
And the kid threw it in the nutsack. He's like, I can't do nothing with this small. You know, I'm too fucking peas right here.
Hey now.
But
My
you know,
dick may be small, but my balls hang heavy. Thank you very much.
let your nuts hang low. But you know, that Gibbon was like, give me that goddamn Homer Simpson, and probably turned around and don't let me catch you out in the middle of the street either, motherfucking.
And it's funny. I mean, it's even funny because like Johnny is a big guy. You know, he's like 6'3". He's like Mr. Incredible.
Oh yeah,
that Gibbon just punked his ass.
Man, yeah.
But before I disparage him, who would have given not punk? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, a great ape coming at you like that.
Even a small ape will fuck your shit up, like those little tiny tree things.
Yeah.
You don't want one of those things pissed off at you. It'll be great, man. That talk about retard strength. That shit's got arms flailing everywhere, like Roadrunner's legs.
Fucking animals, man. Just no matter what, anything with teeth.
Yeah.
You know, you just fucking leave it alone. I remember when my sister got married, I was a kid. We had a Chihuahua named Champ, and Champ was fucking crazy in the head. Champ was if Champ was sitting down by himself, you could sit down with him, and then when you sat down with him, somebody would approach the chair, and he'd be like, and you'd be like, oh, wow, me and Champ bonded. He's protecting me. But then you say, excuse me, Champ, I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back. You leave, you come back, somebody else is sitting with Champ, and you approach the chair, and Champ like, I don't know you, motherfucker. You know, and you go like, okay, all right, keep it. Shit. Well, one night, the house was so crowded. Now, I'm ready for all the sex jokes here. Me and my uncle had to share the same bed.
This is not Carlisle. We don't pick the low fruit.
Not when you point it out first. No.
So when he got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. While he was gone, the dog ran to the room, jumped in the bed, and
your uncle was gonna fuck you. You know that, right?
I'm protecting you, man. You was asleep, but I saw some shit. you were drugged, man. You didn't know. In fact, Champ was over me chapping my cheeks. You know, wake up, man. Wake up. He's coming back. I got you, man. I got you.
Champ doing it. Champ's behind you going, take it all, bitch.
Yeah. Me and your uncle gonna rape you.
No, I know this isn't pleasant, but my dick is a lot smaller than his.
But my uncle came back. He pulled the covers back, and all he saw was a face growling at him. He's like, he said, I saw a possum that made the same face. And he said, I put on my clothes and just went over to my sister's house and just fucking, I ain't staying. Anyway, on that note, people, you got a taste of what this is like. This show is about bullshitting, you know. And if you couldn't tell, we tell you every week, man, we are professional bullshitters here. Me and co-hosts tell you, do not try to do this at home. Now, not only are co-hosts not professional bullshitters, but obviously, if you listen to Leon, you know they're full of shit. So you know.
Granted, I can't argue that.
I really
exactly.
can't.
You know, we talking about some old pros right here. We talking about real hardcore stuntman when it comes to bullshitting. So
that's true. We like the Jackass crew.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all are the Johnny Knoxville of bullshitting here. You would taser.
Want to try this shit at home?
Yeah,
okay.
you would kind of taser your own nuts, kind of bullshitting type thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing the kind of bullshitting that we're gonna feel it when we're older.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're gonna be like, damn, why my back hurt? Too
I
much
usually
bullshit.
feel it the next day. Oh man,
feeling it
why
right
drink
now.
all that beer while we were podcasting.
Buffy, ouch! But not only are we about bullshitting. I mean, you bullshitting with the best here. But not only do we bullshit, but we like to make this show about the people on Spill.com because they make us what we are.
We do?
Full of shit.
Fuck yes, we're out of here.
Yeah, get up and leave. You didn't tell me that. That's what we're gonna do.
I didn't know this was part of the deal. I thought we were talking about ass babies or some shit like that.
Have y'all noticed people come in waves? There'll be like a certain wave of people, and you hear from them all the time, and you're friendly and back and forth, and they just kind of disappear, and then there's another wave of people come in, and you're like, wow. What happened to that old
and
wave?
then the other wave comes back later on because y'all
they'll come back. You're like, hey, remember me? It's like,
because you always get those people who are like, well, I'm leaving, and then you don't say anything.
These people throw this big Rathacon funeral for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're back the next episode, the next day, like, well, it didn't work. They found me on the Genesis planet, and I'm fine.
While they sit up there writing.
So you say that, man. I was playing bagpipes when Ryan Quarterman left.
Oh, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Somebody writing an email, you hear the bagpipes playing in the background. Well, I must leave, old friend.
He lasted 6 hours. He was gone 6 hours.
6 hours? Damn, not even a day, you know. Well, I'm back.
It's like one of those people that fake their own death just so they can see what the funeral looks like.
Some of these guys, I mean,
They hiding over behind somebody else's tombstone.
Pulling some Machiavelli shit, and come back. So people, if you can't see, we make this about you. We talk about you, talk about your mama, your daddy, your dead granny. We don't give a fuck. We talk about you. Why? Because we like you. And that includes talking shit not only about you, but reading your emails, which is probably what we're going to do a lot of on this show right here. So you got like that big 15-minute intro worth of bullshit, so you know what to prepare yourself for here.
oh, it's the main titles?
That was the main title. Yeah,
okay.
that's like the action scene before they get to the main title of the movie. You'd be like, man, that was the open. That's just the opening sequence.
Yeah,
Shit.
or when it's this long, sometimes you're like, oh god, it's gonna be a long movie.
Yo, yeah, you're like, fuck. Yeah, it took that long just to say, title, but yeah. So we got that out the way.
Wait, don't we have to
do
give
it.
the title?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're about to do right now.
Oh, okay.
We're nervous because we haven't done.
I know
this,
you haven't
so
done
we're-
it.
No, I've had some practice.
You've had some. You like the guy who has some sky dove before, whatever you want to say.
I did it once before with you guys, but I totally missed the cue.
You fucked it up
So
though.
I
Yeah,
did.
you
I totally
exactly.
fucked
Your
it up.
parachute didn't open.
I'm
But
still having nightmares about that.
so, what we like to do here, we like to ask the people if they're ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Cyrus, are you ready?
Sure, why not?
People, we told you what this show's about. Are you ready? Yeah, they're ready. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. You said you want to do it like we do. We got to bring Goatsy in. Goatsy, come on in. Goatsy, I'm sorry. Hey, Goatsy. Goatsy's like, who the fuck are these people in here? Goatsy. He's like, I don't know, y'all, but I guess I can do this. Hey, hi. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Hi's ready. Goatsy, he's ready. The people are ready. You two are ready.
We're ready.
Well, if y'all are ready, I'm ready. Then let's do it! Rock on out, Goatsy, rock on out. Yeah. Goatsy's playing the riff right there. Yeah. Hi, come on, man. Raise your hands, man. Yeah. We know. We said, fuck
On the internet for like 10 years.
You see a
now,
big
that
ass
I-
walking in the room.
I've seen this big ass held open by two hands walking in and talking these.
Well, that's
words
Goatsy
and
doing that to you right now.
That's really, really, really wrong. I just want to say.
Hey, we don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
This is the
clearly.
new Goatsy shit. We this is ours.
You're taking Goatsy back.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Exactly. Making it something new,
Fuck that.
refreshing.
Goatsy is a fun word. I'm not letting it mean some dude's asshole stretched open wide. That's bullshit.
Could we stop saying that?
I know, it's like the
It's like every
images,
time you
boy.
do it, it becomes that more and more.
See, but that's what I'm saying with the way every time he says the word, it's so associated in my head with that. I'm like, oh God, I have to avoid that. And I have my internet blocked to avoid that word. Luckily, you spelled it wrong.
I'm that guy when people. I know, yeah, exactly. Well, because I didn't know how it was spelled in the first place. But I'm that person when people tell me to watch this kind of shit. I don't. It's a twist off, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you. Twist up.
We're sitting up here drinking beer, and the beer snob out of all people
Yeah,
sitting up here.
the bartender
Yeah,
himself.
Trying to open a beer with a bottle opener. Well,
Yeah.
that's
Everybody's
I'm used to
sitting up
drinking
here.
good beer, not this screw off shit.
Oh, yeah, you talking shit. You show drinking a lot of.
I know, and reach for it quick too. He saw me reach for it. He's like, I better get this last one before he takes it.
Hey man, even bad beer is still beer. you
Yeah,
know?
if I may quote the purple one for somebody that say they don't like TV dinners, you sure drink a lot of them motherfuckers.
The purple
that
one.
meant
huh?
eat.
What the fuck are
I
you talking
fucked it
about?
up.
Yeah,
Who is the purple one?
Prince.
Oh, okay.
You never heard that song?
I thought it was
Bob.
I thought it was Barney you were talking
Is that the
about.
song Bob? It's on the Black album. Yeah, for somebody to say they don't like TV dinners, you sure eat enough of them motherfuckers.
No, I don't listen to Prince
Wow,
anymore.
Prince had some
Bullshit.
issues growing up.
Prince, man, I saw Prince on Tavis Smiley the other night, and Prince looks like my dead aunt. Right now, he looks like an old woman now.
Because even when you watch Purple Rain, you go, really? This guy is sex symbol? I mean, I'll hand it to you. He's a talented musician, but sex symbol? Really? He makes Michael Jackson look well adjusted. Something was seriously wrong with this guy's
And yet
glands.
the women went nuts.
I know.
over him.
I don't understand. Do you understand? Can you figure that? If you actually had someone like that in real life walking around, he would never get laid. Okay, maybe by big bear gay guys, but that would be it.
In Austin, man, he would get laid every night.
No,
Are
no,
you-
I mean Prince himself.
Cyrus.
but
yeah,
someone who looked just like
You
Yes.
don't understand, and yet he's getting laid all the time and you're not. So at some point you have to give into it.
Well, I'm the opposite side of the spectrum.
I mean, you got to throw on some eyeliner.
Something which you probably does.
That worked for me in high school. So.
Don't give him no ideas. You know, he'd be another George walking around. We have a friend named George. That motherfucker wears.
No, there's only one George.
Just only. Boy, we have a friend named George, and that fool would come out with eyeliner on and. He would look like a powdered donut. He put on so much makeup sometimes.
Dude, even Robert Smith is like, dude, seriously, cut it out.
Yeah, he looked like Robert Smith from The Cure.
Yeah, except
not. You know, there you go. You said a guy looks just like Prince. Come out and get laid? No, he wouldn't. Surely George looks. He does. He looks just like Robert Smith. But he walk out in a bar. Nobody's gonna fuck him.
No,
they're like, wow, you just look like Robert Smith.
George would get laid. It's just that girls weren't exactly legal. That's all.
He's got to shop the discount stores as far as age goes.
Yeah,
but see, y'all saw when he went out to the club that night. When he and I worked together and would carpool, I would go to ride over to his house to get a ride from him. And his ass would wake up and still have that makeup on from the night before.
Yeah.
And I have to like rouse him out of bed, get him to take a shower. And we'd already be an hour late. He want to eat cereal and watch Blackadder and shit.
He was up all night.
Dude,
he was
can
up
we
all night.
please get to work? And we roll in about 11 o'clock. Everybody's going, wow, glad y'all could finally come in. I'm like, it's not me.
Yeah.
This motherfucker right
He was
here.
up all night helping his girlfriend with her social sciences homework. So, you know, I mean, come on.
man. Okay, if you want to know what George looked like, I saw him one night when he was dancing at a club and he was sweating on the dance floor. So when he approached me, now go and look at the original Batman with Tim Burton and look at that part where the Joker's flesh makeup is wearing off and it's like he's got that half white, half flesh color. And it's like, God damn, I know Jack Nicholson was up in this motherfucker right here.
Well, someone actually made an argument to me recently about how Michael Keaton's Batman's scarier than Christian Bale's because he's like, well, shit, man, with all that face fat sticking out of that mask. You're like, what the fuck are you? Oh my God, that's horrifying.
Yeah, you know, we're going to hear, we assume that George isn't listening, but it's going to be that one time George is going to write back and be like, fuck you guys, you know?
Oh shit! Yeah.
What else is
if
new?
he does, he'll threaten to sue us.
Yeah. Well, I doubt he could get away with that right now.
Well, you couldn't because we're not including his full name. So
No, we're not doing that. And
Well, we could prove he's a public figure of some sort.
We made him up.
We could prove that nothing we said was false.
he doesn't really exist. He's like Harvey the Gothic Rabbit. That's it.
And you know,
Harvey the Goth Rabbit.
legally, he's got bigger fish to fry.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe he does.
No, man, I remember one time I put him in a cartoon strip that I was doing. I didn't think
Oh, God,
I didn't
that's
think
hilarious.
I didn't think I did anything wrong, and he wrote back in like, fuck you, how dare you fucking do that? You know, goth is a lifestyle, it's not what you're thinking. I was like, I was just kind of joking around. I put everybody in the cartoon.
No. Wait, what you're missing is that he used to bitch about the fact that you never included him in your cartoon.
I missed that.
Yeah, no, he. I thought he like begged you to be.
Yeah,
in
he would
there,
bitch to us about it all the time.
Yeah,
I just
and
did
then
it.
he
So when you finally
do-
did, and he got mad and wanted to sue you. That's hilarious.
And what, did he really want to sue me?
Oh, you see, okay, he would talk to you calmly. He would ask you to go out and have a beer with him, talk to you calmly. But then he would IM me and just talk shit about you up and down.
Yeah, he started doing that shit with me through emails, and I was like, well, dude, I don't see what your real big issue is. It's a comic strip. Everyone's exaggerating. He's like, yeah, but nobody's ugly like I'm drawn. And I didn't want to say, well, dude, I thought it kind of looked like you, but
I didn't even
okay.
think it looked like him because it was an exaggerated thing. And I don't think George is a bad looking guy. I think he got a crazy sense of style. But see, the weird thing about George is that George would actually call me and say, hey, I'm hanging out at this place tonight. Do you want to come hang out? And this is after the day before. He's like, fuck you, you motherfucker. And I was like, okay, he wants to meet me to kill me or something. So I would meet him out just to say, let's resolve this.
Figure, let's talk this out.
And
he would never bring it up.
He'd never bring it up. He'd be like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, I got beer over here. Yeah, you want one? Okay, And then the next day, they'd be like, you motherfucker, did you change that comic strip? And it's like, you did it again. You put me in your comic strip again. It's like, was I talking to the same
I'm sorry.
person last night?
That guy lives at the North and the South Pole.
It was like Fight Club. it was like Ed Norton. You know, it's like he was a different personality that night. And he's like, "Did I talk to you last night?" You know, it's like, yeah, he was so. He really couldn't take a joke that well. So I'm expecting somebody to tell him, "Hey, man, you should listen to this podcast when they mention you." He's like, "Ooh, you motherfuckers."
I hope he doesn't. I mean, I don't. George and I, after a series of extended like things that ended like that, we're like, "All right, George, well, here you go. Fuck you, dickhead, you cocksucker." I'm like, "What? What the fuck? All right, dude, you're crazy." Finally, cut him out of my life, right? All right, fine, but he's going through enough shit right now. He does not deserve to listen to this. So if you know George, don't point this podcast out to him.
Yeah,
His
no,
life
because
I mean, yeah, he dug his own. He made his own bed, but still, you know, people only deserve. So
Well, I've
much.
never turned my back on George. All right, I mean, I'm that guy. Like, I'm not gonna get too involved with him at this point, but I've never turned my back. So at this point, I'm just
I've
like,
never turned my back, but I've turned my side. Let me put it that way.
I'm proud to say I turned my back long before any of his other issues came up. So I was like, man, don't put that shit on me. Don't come to me begging, oh, you turned on me when things got bad for me. No, I didn't. I turned on you like a year before that. Fuck
see,
you.
people. Joy, everybody has that friend where this is why we're talking about it, because everybody can relate. Back when we were doing our Access show, he's one of those guys where he does something to creep you out because he gets mad at you about something, but then he comes in and helps you immensely
Well, that was
with
the thing.
things.
I mean, George, I've known George longer than I've known any of you guys. He's one of my oldest friends. And anytime he could help me, he would. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when everybody's like, how could you be friends with that guy with everything he's done? I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, he's one of the most loyal friends I have. And has helped me out at a time when he really needed something and didn't even bug me for it. So
Yeah.
it's hard. You know, I always link this back to that movie Rounders. Like when you watch that, like that's a total guy's movie because it's like about a guy who's doing well, but you got that one friend. He's a fuck up. He's dangerous. He could fuck up your life, but you've grown up with him. You're still loyal to him no matter what. Even when everybody else is shaking their head and going like, "Why are you doing this?" It's like can't explain it, but
Yeah,
he's my
well,
friend.
He was. I'm like this with a lot of people. There's a lot of people I won't even hang out with, but I will. And a lot of people I don't even like, but I will continue to be nice because I always think back to that one gesture of kindness that they've done for me, and I say, you know what, this person's cool. And George he actually did a lot of things for us that he did on his own. Like that newsletter he was sending out every week for the show. Like nobody asked him to do that, but he did it. Anyway,
I would hate
although
to remind you that I was actually doing that first, but
Okay, I'm sorry.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
he
I'm
took
sorry.
it over from me.
Well, plus I would also point
you know
out-
what? You were right, man. My
I
mind
built
is
that,
bad.
all that shit, and
No,
did
no,
that
it's true.
myself.
It was a beautiful gesture on his part. I don't want to take anything away from it, but by him doing that, it allowed him to procrastinate further on all his real projects.
Yeah.
I know. Well, no, it was two things. Well, I'll tell you two stories about George real quick. One is like a really cool thing. I went, oh, it's okay, man. This is casual. You can bump all of that.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
bump it.
Pull a Godzilla
Doesn't
on it and
matter
shit.
if the air conditioning's on.
Leon's
Doesn't
fainting. He's
matter.
over there sweating and dehydrated.
Happy New Year.
But I remember George. I took my computer over to his house. Now you probably remember this story.
Oh yes, I do.
I was at home and I could not figure out what the fuck was wrong with my computer.
Yeah, and I said like, hey man, I got this friend George.
You
He's a
said-
whiz with computers. You should take your computer to
take
him.
it to George, and I called George up. He's like, yeah, man, bring it over. And George, I took it over there, and George was like, hey, sit down for a moment. He looked at it, and he went up and down. He said, oh, let me do this right here. And then when he was done, he's like, okay, it's fixed. I said, wow, George, it's working. What did you do? And he's like, oh, nothing, man. It's okay. It's working now. It's technical. You won't understand. I found that later from you, Leon. He's like, yeah, George just ejected the floppy disk that was inside of it. That's what was fucking it up. And George didn't want to. He didn't want to make you feel stupid.
Course.
Yeah.
It was booting from the floppy disk.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Man.
But the thing, what George didn't do was go like, "I'm a wizard. I fixed it." He was like, "No, it was an easy fix. Don't worry about it."
No, that's what it was. What happened was he ejected the floppy disk, but he didn't take it completely out. He just left it in there. And then when I took it home, I did the same thing where I put it in and repeated the same process. And I was like, "The fuck is happening? He's doing it again, George. What the?" And he just happened to eject the floppy disk. And when I did that, if there was a camera, I would look at him and be like, top teeth hanging all out.
All the people listening right now going, "What in the fuck
is
is
a
a
Floppy disk, yeah. Oh, back in the day, kids, there used to be this thing.
You know what? With the exception of like Ghost Rider, there's probably nobody on the site who even knows what a 7-inch disc is.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, no, we just fucking dated ourselves right there. Like, see, if I was thinking, I would have said the DVD.
I used to have to load in on my TRS-80 with wax cylinders.
But no, see, and I should have been narrating that story by saying,
Yep, George wanted to fix my computer, and when I had the floppy disk, you kids don't know what the floppy disk is.
But created by Jesus.
Chicken George. All right, so don't we have some questions to answer?
Oh, I do have a
man,
question.
don't rush the
I know you like Carlisle. You remember we doing that interview, The Hangover,
You're
yesterday?
right. You're right.
What,
I'm being
the
Carlisle.
Hangover. It's like everything we do with Carlisle. He's like, all right, guys, let's go. It's like, all right, motherfucker, slow down. There's one of you and three of us.
It's like every time we come in having a good time, he runs through the door. It's like, all right, let's get this thing over. I got things to do. It's like, we recording tonight. You know that? I mean,
Yeah.
God damn, man.
And
Sit
you
your
know
ass down.
it ends when it ends.
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly.
works.
Shit, ain't nobody's gonna be. He's hopped up in that caffeine. His eyes are blinking and he's rocking back and forth and shit.
If you're not here having fun, then why are you here?
Yeah, he's like, God damn, I got somewhere to go. And it's like, no, you are where you need to go right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Sit your
Yeah,
ass
you got
down.
Something to do. Man, record
Record this motherfucker right here. That's what your priority is right now. Shut the fuck up. We recording a Hangover the other day. I got to tell people that we recording a Hangover. And like about 3 minutes into it, I get this movie at full price. It's like,
I know. You see the disappointed look on his face, and we didn't all start round robining after that. We're like, okay,
he's like,
that's
well,
great.
what do you give it? It's like, hey man, I ain't ready to give it yet. We got another 20 minutes to record it.
This reminds me, I do have a suggestion, though, because I know we got shit when we were making fun of, in the lightest possible way, co-host on our show, and I see that happen with everyone. I think we should do that whole, that whiteout that people use to go, yeah, man, that guy's a dick, fuck him. Yeah, but he's all right.
Yeah, I love that. I love that guy, though.
Hey, that's my thing, man.
Oh, that so is your thing.
Yeah.
I met people in public. Hey, fucking Corey Coleman. Hey, man, let's have a drink, man. You real cool. I fucked up last time, really.
Man,
Oh.
what you said yesterday just cracked me up. I was still laughing about it.
What did I say?
Well, you were like, I'm not going to say the name of who you were talking about. You like, yeah, that's why I don't hang out with that guy that much, because by limiting my exposure to him, that just gives me nothing bad to say about him. But you were saying that as you were like actually genuinely trying to compliment the person by saying like, I don't hang out with him that much, so I don't have anything bad to say.
Yeah, and I thought about that after I said it. I was like, shit, that came out totally wrong.
That was really complex.
Because see, when we record, I'll talk about people because it's all in fun. I mean, because I know people are going to hear it, and it's like, we're taking friendly jabs at each other. It's really nothing personal.
Well,
but
that's what I'm saying. Like, because people don't understand, so you have to throw in the whiteout, the conversation. Where it goes.
But he's cool.
Nah, but he's all right.
Yeah, like that motherfucker high. I can't stand that motherfucker, man. But he's cool.
Like Corey, I got to say, you are one of my absolute best friends in the whole world. And when I die, I really do not want you to deliver my eulogy.
I would like to say
because you have such a way of delivering the most backhanded
I'm sitting there
compliments.
going up there. Cyrus was a good friend. In fact, I think there's no better way to take a look at Cyrus's life than going through his porn collection publicly.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, I did.
Really? Grandma three ways? I had no idea he was such a sick fuck.
I sure did
Christ.
do that.
You know what? I take all that shit I said before back.
Man, people, if y'all haven't heard the last Let's Do These or whatever you want to say, I talked about my friend Albert who died like a year ago. I mean, it was really, I was broken apart about this. Nobody saw me.
It's really sad.
No, I
was so young.
I mean, yeah, no, I spent I'm not very emotional around people, so I spent several days in the house crying and shit, because I going to the house like Phantom of the Opera and shit in the dark, because I didn't want people to see me. And then I get on like a podcast and talk about how I took his porn collection off his dad's hands, and then people telling me like, wow, man, way to give a tribute to your dead friend, talking about his porn collection. I'm like, shit, that's just normal to me. I didn't think anything was wrong with
someone
that.
having a porn collection, but you went through it item by item.
Yes.
That's where
That's
you
a
made the
nightmare.
mistake. You can say, yeah, it's a funny story, I got his porn collection, but then you don't go, and here is the shit he fetishized.
I mean, the thing is, dude,
Nude cigar smoking.
like maybe you don't know this, but like people want their best friends to go in and secretly nab the porn collection away so that like the wife and the family and nobody else has to know about it and get rid of it. So nobody knows. You're the complete opposite of that.
No, everybody has that. I have a porn friend like that. Like if I die, like the exchange.
you got one?
Oh yeah. Where you go, if you die, you come over and you delete all that shit off my computer,
Yeah.
right? Because I don't want my mom looking for pictures of me and stuff on the computer and coming across raped nuns 1 through 40.
What?
What? That's
Raped
hot.
nuns.
They had it coming.
No pun intended, right?
Fuck me, Jesus. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
That's
Jesus,
going too
man.
far. That's
Okay,
an
yeah.
Exorcist reference, for God's sake.
But I mean, look, I guess maybe I didn't. It's the way his dad looked at me when I took it that I thought it was okay to talk about it because he pretty much looked at me like he was like you tell somebody goodbye. He pretty much looked at me like happy jerking off. See you because he looked at me pretty much saying, yeah, you gonna take this shit and go rub a few out with it.
You can't jerk off to stuff a dead guy jerked off to. You just can't do that. There's something inherently. You should send that stuff off in a Viking funeral
Have you
boat.
never jacked off to like a dead porn star?
Oh well, yeah, Savannah.
Well, all right,
she
then.
lives forever.
Oh man, I have. I ain't gonna lie. I like because kids. I probably shouldn't be like telling you your Uncle Corey's habits here because they are bad. But you shaking your head like no.
No.
No, like I get online. I look at like that retro shit, like all the Harry Bush and all that kind of stuff, and I know that some of these chicks are, if they're not dead, they're probably near it, and I'm just like, I don't care, man. This is like a capsule in time
What's
here
that
that I
one
love.
girl with Nina Hartley? I don't know what her deal. She made a deal with the devil. She's still doing porn, and she's like as old as any of those.
Really?
chicks.
What, is she the one that just died?
No, Marilyn
No,
Chambers.
no,
Marilyn Chambers, that's it, yeah.
But she's like in her 50s, and she's still hot. She's got one of those. She was always known for her ass. She had one of those like, what in the fuck did you do? to
What's her
get
name?
that
Nina
ass?
Hartley?
Nina Hartley.
Yeah, she made a bunch of like how-to videos.
Yeah, she kept her
wow,
career going by
okay.
touring and lecture.
She was the
circuit
porn
and
actress in Boogie Nights that was having
Yes.
sex.
There we go. There, the first one for the night. Thank you,
High hopes,
Back there on iPhone, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, Pardo.
Pardo. He plays so well. Don't you agree?
Yeah, she's
Hi,
the one
Pardo.
that,
Tell us what he's won.
she's the one that William H. Macy kills.
Oh, that's the reference in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I gotta go look that up then, man.
Yeah, you might like her. She was great. Her early.
Oh shit! Look, I'm
you
so
just
excited.
brought
I'm
it
over
out.
here like I'm running to find her name.
If you like the classic porn star, she's one of the great ones. She was really good. Because now, you go see what she does now. It's like, wow, she actually was liking it, loved it.
Yeah.
She goes around touring about fucking porn, best thing ever happened to me.
Well,
as
man.
opposed to all the other girls who blew their heads off with shotguns.
Yeah, I had a guy come online, like as much as I talk about porn on here, because look, I got nothing to hide. Because look, 95% of men who have a computer, I mean, even if they don't want to do it, they're just curious and they get online and like,
Right.
huh.
And the other 5% are lying sacks of shit.
Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
If
Shit.
you don't use porn and you're a dude, sooner or later you're going to do something amazingly dickheadish to a woman. And I'm not talking about rape or something, but maybe. I'm just saying you're going to be a douchebag because we're not meant to hold that shit in for a real long time. And that was our little gift to get rid of that shit so we can treat women like human beings. It's not our fault our biology's fucked up.
Yeah, no, any guy that says, no, I don't masturbate, he's either lying, and you can tell he's lying because he's too normal. And you know he's not lying when he's looking at you and he's like, no, I don't masturbate.
I don't do that.
Yeah, you get the weird guy who's like really religious or something who thinks tomorrow he's going to touch his penis, he's going to explode, then that's the guy who's telling the truth.
Because it's probably true, though, that you haven't masturbated or had an orgasm in like 6 years. You probably don't want anybody touching you at that point. You probably will.
You probably will explode, yeah. The moment they touch you, like,
Oh my God.
that was
But
good.
they are the ones who end up killing everybody in the school.
Yeah, or raping an altar boy or what have you.
Right.
I mean, it's like, you know what? We're not meant to hold back that long. It's natural to have sex.
Yeah.
That's what we're meant to do. So
Yeah.
choose your religion that lets you have sex.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
exactly.
I would just throw out there was this chick, Angela Devi, this Indian girl. Man, you guys would flip. Well, at least, I mean, she's not redheaded. Sorry, so maybe not you, but Corey, you
Oh, I'm
would
not
go
that
nuts.
limited.
Oh,
Come
really?
on. I like blondes too.
Is she an actress or what is she?
No, she was just like a pinup kind of, like she would do like solo video stuff. Like I never saw a hardcore thing with her, but she's everything you could ever want.
I actually know who you're talking about.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with porn.
Oh, well.
Damn, I'm not even that familiar. I'm like, damn, guy. Hey, what you doing tonight? Can I come over and peruse your collection?
That's private. There's some things.
Gee, I wonder what the chances are he would like broadcast your collection over the internet.
when you're dead,
Well,
that's the
when
only
I'm
thing I want to
dead.
do. I'm writing my eulogy while I'm looking at your collection.
It would be the next to Coco. Be like, hey, I took a list here of Cyrus's porn collection. Let's see.
I make a podcast just for that. Cyrus's porn collection.
It'd be alphabetical, that shit.
Hey man, and by the way, if a guy did dress up like Prince, just to bring it back from what beginning this whole thing,
Ooh,
he
full circle.
would be, yeah. And I knew you were gonna do that. You do that all the time. You
love
see,
that.
you brought it back full circle. That's your thing. That's your catchphrase.
That is one of my things.
But if a guy dressed up like Prince and walked around town, girls would love him because he's different and he's pretty. There was a dude who was dressing up. Now I know you worked in bars, so I know you saw Batman. Sure. You know what I'm talking about? The dude with the Batman symbol on his chest.
Yeah.
That dude always had women flock. There was a guy walking around town. He looked like a cross between Adam Ant and he had a big Batman symbol on his chest. He had like a crew cut blonde hair. and he walked around with his shirt wide open so he could show that tattoo off. And he
Seriously, you guys could have kicked that guy's ass, and the cops would not have even jumped in.
No, they would have stood back and gone, it's about
time.
but everybody liked it. No, yeah, he would just
Those
say
cops aren't getting laid either, but that dude's popping around with some hot chicks. They're like, no.
yeah, because he would just go to a bar and he's standing at the bar and just grin the whole time. I mean, grinning. He wasn't even trying to be cool. He just smiling, just happy to be there. And women would go up and talk to that guy. Why? Because he was different.
I think I bet you anything he played an instrument. There's almost
Yeah.
no doubt. Because that's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You play an instrument, it doesn't matter what you look
Exactly.
like. You could be the Elephant Man as long as you can play, as long as you can mildly play the guitar and you've recorded it at some point, then you will just have girls that look like porn
I mean,
stars.
sorry, if you think about it, like not only did Prince play like every instrument and was the front man and a singer,
Yeah.
but he came out in the androgynous 80s. So there's no. Why would he not have a mountain of pussy
I don't
all
have
the
the
time?
And he's a hell of a basketball player.
yeah, exactly.
in the edited version of events. No, I mean, I won't argue with you. He's an incredibly talented musician. Absolutely no question about that whatsoever. But I just think he looks like some sort of weird Morlock mutant. That's
Man,
all.
I stopped being that guy, and I'm not saying this is you. So don't say I'm calling you jealous. But I used to be that guy that looked at people and be like, "The fuck is wrong with me? That guy over there has a chick, and she's fine as hell." And
Until you became that guy.
until I became,
And once I became that guy, I stopped being jealous of that guy. Then I looked at everybody else as haters.
It's funny how that works. I wonder.
And then I just learned to go. Hey, when in Rome, go where the pussy is. But no, no, man. I just stopped asking why girls are with a certain guy, because I always see. I was in the mall today and I saw this fucking guy who looked like just like a 60-year-old dork. A dork at 60 years old had a fine ass Asian chick walking with him.
Never at the mall.
Yeah.
Say what you will about Leon, he does not go to the mall.
Oh, he goes to the mall. We didn't got that shirt from right now.
Target.
Yeah, so that's right. He never goes to the mall. He goes to the strip mall. But no, so I just stopped saying, man, people have money. People have some sort of weird look about them. Maybe people just happen to meet by, mischance and just say, hey, you know what? Hey.
It can happen. I mean, look at me. I finally have a girlfriend, it's Mary, and everyone who meets her afterwards like, seriously, dude, what did you do? Do you have something?
Oh, so it's safe to
or
say that
something?
now. Yes, because I have said that several times.
They're like, what's the deal? I was like, honestly, I wish I knew because I would continue to use my power.
Yeah. No, I keep pulling her aside and asking her, who's paying you? Seriously. No, I'm fucking with you, man. She's real nice. The other night when I came over, she hung out with me in the room when I was over there for a little while.
Oh, yeah, right.
I know so many stories that start with those words and they go horribly wrong.
I don't even want to acknowledge that because that could creep into my head.
Hey,
during
let me
sex,
tell you
and
something.
That would ruin the entire thing.
I ain't never really done that on. Well, I know you.
never
No,
really
never mind.
done that.
I know you will say there are gonna be several instances where you say I like fucked around some girl you coming after, and I will say I never did that on purpose, and never happened like
There are
that.
times where, like, I seriously expect sometimes if I'm having sex with Mary, it's like one of those things. Like, I get up, go to the bathroom, come back, and you'd be in there in the bed doing what?
I know. Giggity, giggity.
You left, dude. What was I supposed to do?
Exactly.
No, I ain't gonna even touch on this thing right here. And let me just say, besides you thinking I did that shit on purpose, I ain't never had that problem with anybody except that one time that guy did walk in the bar. I talked about this with Carl the other night. Where it's like, "Where's fucking Corey Coleman?" And Leon was want to pull me aside at a movie theater. People, this is true. Leon pulled me aside at a movie when we were watching a screen.
Cyrus is the one who told me about what
yeah,
happened.
Cyrus told you about this. You working at the
When
bar.
this guy walks to a bar like it's fucking Dodge City. Where the hell's Corey Coleman? Because he fucked my woman and I'm going to kill him. I'm sorry, not woman, his wife.
Wife, yeah. And Leon pulled me aside and at a screening, and he said, "Come here, let me talk to you." And I already knew what it was going to be about.
That's what cracks me up about you. Whenever I pull you aside to talk to you about something, you act so innocent, and yet you know exactly what I'm about to talk to you about. That is not the only time. It's been like 10 of those times when I'm like, "Hey, man, I need to tell you something." You're like, "What?"
Somewhere there's an ex-husband's website with a big wanted poster.
No, that only
on
happened
it.
once because you pulled me aside, and I knew already what you were going to say. And because you said, "Do you know anything about this guy looking for you because you fucked his wife?" And I was like, Somehow I knew this was going to be the question. I did not know she was married.
And honestly, I'm a witness to that. I know for a fact you didn't because I found out after the fact she was going around trying to get tail from anybody she could. She was trying to end that marriage.
And she came to the right person right now.
You closed that deal.
If the podcast cut off abruptly, it's because we naming names right now. I'm just like,
I'm not going to name names. I'm just going to say, like, I remember being with you at a function, hanging out with you late and drinking.
Yeah.
And this girl was really flirting with you hard, like, Corey.
Well, you know something?
And you were like almost begging me not to leave because it was almost in your eyes, like, if you leave, I'm gonna fuck this girl. and it got to be like, it's like, dude, it's 2:00. I got to go.
And I was trying to avoid. Something told me there was trouble with that because I saw her fighting with a guy, and she in the night before. Look, this would tell me she was not looking for anybody because the night before she came up and she's like, "You're Corey Coleman, right?" And then she had the nerve.
TV's Corey Coleman.
No, it wasn't even like that. She was like, "Yeah, you know somebody that I know." And then
my husband.
And
you have no idea.
You know what? She fucking. I talked to that guy. She fucking introduced me to that guy, but she didn't say her husband. She just said,
he was wearing a T-shirt with their marriage certificate. But sure.
No, what happened? She walked away, and that guy came over, and he was like, and he was talking to me. I guess he was trying to size me up, and it was just kind of.
I'm sorry, this is too funny.
And so I was talking to him, and I didn't know that was him. But the next night, I saw that dude arguing with her, and I was like, "Wow, this is trouble." But at this point, and How was there,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot more to this story I could tell you about. But.
How just knows I answered the door and they had no clothes on. And I was like, "Get on out of here, man."
All I'd say is that whole night was one of the most craziest events of like weird shit going on I've probably ever been to.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
awesome
Yeah.
for me anyway.
It was. It was a great night.
Yeah, it was awesome.
No, it was. It was.
You
and
just, what are you going to do?
What do you?
It's not like they leave footprints.
You gonna fuck up and fuck somebody's husband? I mean, fuck somebody's wife, I guess.
You're like,
No, I thought you were right the first time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Shit, though, could have been both.
Before you put
I know he comes in, he's like, "Man, I don't appreciate what you did because you should have fucked me too."
You knew though. Come on. I remember hearing from her after that. You were like, "Hey, before you put that finger in my ass, can you take the ring off, please?"
Oh man, come on.
Just saying.
Wow.
Come on.
Damn,
You didn't know what that was for.
You took it deep, man.
Of course, that being so did you apparently.
Well, yes, I
See
can.
how I brought that full circle?
Yeah, you brought it back full circle. You said I came around.
Now, who wrote that email?
God damn. Moving on to another subject here. Hi, I want to ask you something real quick. What? Did you see The Hangover?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
There's another one on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one.
There's a guy in the movie, and it's a powerful Asian gangster. He's surrounded by bodyguards who are also Asian, but they all speak perfectly normal's wrong, but normal because this thing, the way he's talking is exaggerated. They speak English. And
They were born and raised in America, and he wasn't.
And this guy comes up and he's talking. Oh, hi, motherfucker.
Okay.
How you doing?
Can I step in here, like, before you go too far?
Yes.
And go like, that gangster was Chinese and High is Vietnamese?
I
and
know
it's
the
not
difference.
The same thing.
I know, but it's still.
Was he some kind of expert all of a sudden?
Yeah, because it's still the Asian stereotype. It doesn't matter because they do that for all Asians in movies.
It wasn't all that exaggerated. It was a normal accent of a guy who's
just
not
wait
from
till
America.
I see it before I comment.
You're supposed to help me, man. You ain't supposed to be doing this. You're not supposed to be fair.
No, it's true. I hate all those Asian stereotypes that they put. I mean, Rush Hour being one of them. I mean, it's one of the worst movies, for an Asian stereotype that you could put in there. So if this is, portraying to it, then I'll probably hate it.
Honestly, I think gay people would be more offended than Asians would. I mean,
I think Asian gay people would be offended by this.
Yeah, and they run
of
gangs.
Which there
so.
apparently a lot of them.
Yeah.
They are running the gangs.
They're the ones who run the
Is it
triads.
like the Asian gay character in like Good Morning Vietnam?
It's similar to that. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's similar.
I think of more like Bruce Lee's Return of the Dragon, also known as Way of the
that
Dragon.
Okay.
So, wait, you got any Chinese spare ribs? But it's always like, no, it's not Way of the Dragon. It's Fist of Fury. Yeah. Or like in Story of Ricky. It's like the main
That's what I'm
warden
saying. Is
guy.
that's a common thing.
Yeah,
with
it is
the
common.
big gay Asian leader gang
Yeah.
guy. I don't know where that comes from.
The boss is always gay.
I mean, but they're Asian movies doing this. It's not like
Right.
Americans are doing
right.
this.
Yeah, these are my examples.
Okay, you know what? Now, to show you that I am being fair and hi, this is no offense to you or any of your Asian brethren, even though you're Vietnamese and it was a Chinese guy in this movie. There were two guys who pulled up to me one night and asked me, do you know what Charlie's is? And they asked me just like that. So
Well, that's
maybe,
because they're not from here. English is
Okay,
their first language.
okay.
They have accents like Mexicans or the French.
and
or
Charlie's is the gay
anyone
club
not
here, by
from
the way.
here.
So they were gay Asian people who talk like this, and so
Yeah, I work with a Japanese girl, and every time she talks to me, my first word is, huh?
Yeah. And also,
Yeah, you gotta
there's-
repeat that.
plus, you know, the so-called gay accent. I mean, of course, not all gay people have an accent. That's fucking stupid. But flaming gay people do tend to embellish on their vowels.
Okay,
is all I'm
all
saying.
right. Hey, why you looking at me, man? Like I'm not
That's
the one
a
that
lifestyle
He's
choice.
talking. He looking at me like I'm the one that's saying all this shit. And I'm like,
Well,
I'm
he's a
pissed
gay
at you.
Asian. He's pissed off.
Aw, there.
Yeah, he's looking at me cross the room like, ah,
I mean,
motherfucker.
look at Mr. Sulu.
Hey,
That
you
is
would
true.
never
He
get-
talks with he talks with like an English accent. He still comes in with that laugh. Oh,
Dude, he was actually one of those guys who came out gay. I went, really?
Really?
I never would have guessed that he was
Well,
gay.
if you only saw him on the show, you would never guess he was gay.
No, I had seen him in interviews and stuff, and he just, you know, I mean, like I said, this is stupid. This
He
sounds
was
horrible
always
to say,
very affected, but
Yeah.
not
in a proper way.
in a Vincent Price, Hans Conried kind of way.
Right.
I just wanted to get the Asian man's point of view right while you're right here, because they always jump on me when I bring up these stereotypes and like I'm being too like I'm the
Like you was
ACLU or
looking for
something.
something.
You're sensitive to stereotypes.
I am very sensitive to stereotypes because I'm that guy. I had this discussion with the co-host. Like I'm that guy where somebody says, "Man, people say you shouldn't use the word retard anymore." That's stupid. I'm the guy that says, "Now look, I say it, but let's listen to the other side before we make a
because
judgment."
All those retards in the anti-retard defamation league are pissed.
Well,
That's not funny.
it's one of those things when you say like, "Hey, man, don't call me nigger." It's like, okay, you're telling me that, but usually for the retards, it's not the retard himself that's saying, "Don't call me a retard."
Yeah,
it's their friend who's saying like, "Hey, don't call him a retard." It's like, "Hey, fuck you, I'm talking to him, not
Well,
you."
that's the
medical
thing.
term. Sorry.
I'll keep hearing stories. Like I got emails after that, and people are mad. And I was like, I was the one defending it, and people are still pissed at both of us. I'm like, well, mentally challenged people do not like to be called retarded or retard. I mean, that does hurt their feelings.
Retard is clearly a slur.
I mean, it depends
Yeah.
on the case, though. There is mental retardation, but not everyone who has mental disabilities is mentally retarded. There is a difference. There's a specificity about being retarded that is a medical term. Okay?
But retard is
you
not a
shouldn't
medical
throw it
term.
around. No, that's what I mean.
And if we're going to go there, let's go to one that's important. The word midget. Like midgets are saying, "Oh, calling me a midget is like calling me a nigger." And I'm like,
It's
I don't
no,
think so.
it is not the
Nah,
same
when
thing.
was the time you were oppressed en masse?
Yeah.
When did that happen exactly?
yeah, where were those killing fields of midgets? And
Yeah.
and what plantations did the midgets
Plus,
even
they
work
want to be
on?
called little people? Really? You think that is less?
I
A
know, that's
dwarf.
what they- yeah, they say like, we
no,
prefer little
dwarf.
people.
It's like they say we're not midgets, we're dwarfs.
no,
and I'm
that's
like,
not true, actually,
No,
'cause
no,
midget and
that
dwarf
is
are
true
two
because there were
types-
some people who said dwarfs. They wanted
Well,
midgets.
then they probably actually were dwarves because midgets and dwarves are two specific
Do you know the difference?
types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're two very specific
well,
things.
okay.
that
So
are-
to you, what is a dwarf?
I don't know the name of the
No,
like
the
differences in it.
dwarfs they have bigger heads.
Yeah,
Yes.
they look like kind of
They're
midget
out of
things.
The
proportion.
dwarfs
Yeah,
is the
where-
one that have the normal heads and the smaller body.
yeah, whereas
Midgets are actually proportioned. They're smaller
If
people.
I'm not mistaken, like a midget is the guy from Jackass. He's a midget. But
No, he's a dwarf.
Yeah, he's a dwarf.
Really? I
Yes,
thought he was a
he's
midget.
dwarf,
And then
yeah.
it was the guy from the who's
And
like
if you
the
look
actor.
now, if you notice, the dwarfs, as they want to be called, they have the same facial features.
Like Peter Dinklage. If you just saw Peter Dinklage's face, you think he was like a normal sized guy,
Right.
Until you saw the rest of his body.
But
Okay,
even
fair
then, you'd say there is some similarity between his face and everybody else who's considered to be a dwarf. Look at that. Look at that show where they talk about was it Little Big People or something like
yeah,
that?
Little People, Big World.
Big World.
Well, let's
That's
say
it. Yeah.
There is a medical classification for midget or dwarf. So unless someone was actually a dwarf, they wouldn't want to be called that.
But that whole thing of like, don't call me midget. I would say, all right, what do you want to be called? I want to be called a little person. You're like, wow, that's so demeaning. I would never even think to call you
don't
that.
call
That
me
is, you know-
midget, Tolly.
Yeah, from that from Sly Stone song, don't call me nigga. Yeah, don't call
Tolly.
me midget.
And that's just like saying, don't call me a black, call me a colored person.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That is. It's like
I'm sorry, but black is the new colored person. So
No, it's weird, man. And everything has a weird terminology. Like certain people don't want to be called Negro, even though we still have the United Negro College Fund.
And we got the National Association of Colored People.
We still have the National Negro Anthem.
I mean, I want to just
Negro
say
National
right
Anthem.
now, PC won straight up. It just won the big war because it's gotten to the point that it's just preposterous the level to which we're oversensitive.
Here's my thing about the attack. Like everybody wants to attack. Like I hate PC. I hate him to be politically correct about everything.
But you have to understand the points in which there are things you can say and you can't.
Well,
you just can't take it too far.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, look, if being PC means that you get consequences by calling me a nigger, then I'm all for PC. I mean, what it comes down to, like, man, I might not like the fact that you want me to call you little person, really, but hey, man, if that's what you need, if that's what you want, then okay, fine. I can do that. There's people who get mad, who say like, wow, you can say nigger, but I can't. That's not fair.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? There's no part of me that goes like, wow, I can't say spick, and that pisses me off.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that was only fair. Y'all took that word back. You own it now. Which
And
is
I-
the
you
only
know
way
what?
to be. And
Yeah.
you even use it in an angry
Yeah, in
sort
lieu
way.
of 40 acres and a mule,
Yeah.
I think we could have that word.
I agree. I completely agree. But at the same time, there's the point where you go, like you were saying earlier, about United Negro College Fund. I mean, really, what's the point? I mean, I think what it comes down to is, okay, the big N word, white people or any other color should not be able to use that word, period. You just can't use it unless you're talking about it in a sociological type of sense.
Right.
But any other one, it's a matter of how you say it. It's the context
Alabama
in which you're
porch
saying
monkey's not
it.
good either.
Well, okay.
No matter how you
But
say
even
it.
so-
Or swoogie or smoke.
Schwoogie.
Schwoogie, that's what. Isn't that like a nickname?
I thought it was
hey,
a
Schwoogie.
Beanie Baby.
No, that's all these
Schwoogie.
I named my
Tar
pound puppy
Baby.
Schwoogie.
Yeah,
Tar Baby. I never heard of Schwoogie though.
Spear chucker.
None of those are good.
That's what I'm
Schwoogie.
saying. It's like it's a lot of it is context, though. It's
Yeah,
like,
it
and
is.
you can't freak out when someone's using something in a non-angry, a non-ugly way.
No. I mean, but especially between anybody who gets mad about being called black or Negro, it's like get over yourself.
Isn't Schwoogie a comic strip?
It's still not over the
No, dude, it's quite a bad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Ziggy. I'm sorry. Well, what is Ziggy gonna do today? About PC, man. It's also been it's a case by case situation because there've been some situations where it's like, oh, you know what? This person meant no offense by it at all, and you're thinking, okay, I'm not gonna sit up here and get mad at this guy when he did not know or he meant nothing by it, or everybody cannot make a big deal about this and move on and everything's cool. And then you got the guy at the office who says, you know what, I'm going to tell a black joke just to see if I can push the limits with this person because I know I can bring up, don't be so PC, man, afterwards.
Let's not forget the same thing goes with women as well. I mean, you got to understand, you can't go tell like misogynist jokes when there's a woman around at the office and not expect a reaction.
It's definitely the same thing. I mean, it's exactly the same thing. I've always said that. No, you can't sit up there and start telling jokes about women and using all kind of words like cunt, bitch, and pussy and all that.
Speaking of misogynist, did you see Andrew Dice Clay on CNN?
Recently?
Yeah. He went on there and they're like, oh, Andrew Dice Clay, apparently he's back. He's going to tour again. And he's like, and he just wouldn't shut up. And finally he's like, you know what? Fuck this station. Fuck CNN. Fuck this. Fuck you fuckers. And got up and left. And they're like,
That's weird because he did that a long time ago. At a time when it was justified.
Okay, well, not in the interview I saw. He just suddenly freaked out and started like going, fuck you. And
Really?
they were like, oh, he's back for, so what kept you away for so long? The guy was like, so why did you take why did you stand back? Why did you do this? He's like, fuck you. I never stood back. It's like, dude, no one's heard from you in 25 years. You stood back. That's me saying that.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, it's actually a sadder story because he didn't stand back. He just wasn't doing anything of note.
Well, he's an ugly reminder of a time I think I'd rather forget, where it was like, honestly, publicly, people could still say the shit he was saying, and people would go, oh, that's funny. It's like, no, dude, actually, in a public forum, that's not.
Hey, raise your mic up a little bit.
Okay, here's the thing. You remember the story you told me about Leonard Nimoy, about how he wasn't really like trying to divorce himself from Spock?
Yeah, it was all misunderstood.
Yeah, and
based on
that
the
was
title.
the Andrew Dice Clay thing. Was like his jokes were like, yeah, isn't it funny how I'm being such an asshole, kind of pointing out how ridiculous this was. Unfortunately, all the people who were real assholes like jumped on it and adopted it and like, yeah, this guy's speaking for us.
Yeah, his shows were full. No, really, his shows were
He
full of
didn't
frat guys,
exactly-
and they were all like, whenever he was like, "What's in the bowl, bitch, and the audience would be like full of backwards caps. Yeah, he speaks for me.
But he didn't exactly come out and make a big deal about saying, "Oh, I don't really mean that." No, he went.
No.
I
I saw him on several things where he said, like, I'm just playing a character, and people are taking this too seriously.
Yeah, when he was on the Oprah Winfrey show.
But now you know what?
I'm telling you, even at the height of his...
Really?
Yeah, I would see him on shows all the time saying that, but nobody was listening.
Even if that was the point, it's not funny. I'm sorry. I've heard those albums, and to me, I didn't think they were funny.
Yeah, I didn't think they...
I was
Hickory
like, I don't
dickory
really
dock.
see-
I
that's
didn't think
not
that was
funny.
funny,
That's
man.
not clever or funny. It's just dumb.
You can't take comedy out of context. I mean, you listen to Red Skelton right now, and that shit is dull as dishwater.
if I'm
but at the
supposed to-
time, he was hilarious.
If I'm supposed to secretly know that Andrew Dice Clay is actually doing this to point out how ridiculous these guys are, and yet I've heard an entire album, and at no point does he do anything to indicate that, then I'm sorry, that's just dumb. You know
what?
That isn't
I
taken out of
mean-
but
context.
that's the same thing people could accuse us of.
That's not true. We backslide all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but no, here's the difference between us because, I mean, really, I mean, say what you will, this is us. I mean, this is us talking. I mean, we might be crude, we might say a lot of vulgar things, even offensive things, but we're not coming out saying, hey, we're playing a personality. You know, this
I
is
am.
No, you not. Yeah, you like this all the time, even more so.
I'll honestly apologize to anyone if I say something that slips out that offended somebody really bad when it's deserved to be apologized for.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said stuff. Sure, we've all put our foot in our mouths. All of us have been Carlisle from time to time.
I knew you were gonna say
where
that.
We just said something that was just so outrageously rude and inappropriate. And then gone, you know what? You're right. That was a total dick move on my part. Because we're only fucking human.
Well, y'all hear about the Alec Baldwin thing just last week?
No, what happened this time?
He was on one of the talk shows. I forgot what it was, and it made a joke about like, oh yeah, somebody with maybe I get one of those Filipino brides. The Philippines went ape shit about how he insulted us because that's white slavery. We're trying to crack down on that, and that's not part of our culture. To the point to where he went ahead and I apologize if I offended.
You know something?
the
I don't
Philippines.
blame him for the apology, but he was only commenting on something that exists. He didn't come out and endorse it. He didn't come out and say I approve of this. He just made a joke, and it's not his. He does not deserve the brunt of that. The responsibility for that.
Like, all right, I've taken so many hits over that shit with my dog and everything else, and I got a hit show. I don't want a bunch of heat. But otherwise, I'd be like, you know what, Philippines, fuck you.
No, you come out. You got to come out
Philippines.
and just say, you know what? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, you okay? Okay.
Google Filipino bride. See what comes up.
Exactly.
You got 18,000 hits of pages.
Yeah.
Full Filipino bride.
You know what? Instead of
I'm sorry,
jumping on Alec Baldwin, why don't you do something about that shit, right? All right, the computer just cut off that conversation we were just doing because you ran out of room on that particular recording, and now we moved on to another one. And I was telling y'all we're gonna get through this quick because we're gonna read some email because I'm tired, boy. I was in Waco last night visiting my mother, and she was like, "Yeah, come on, baby, come away, come see me," which I'm gonna do because she's all by herself there now.
Sure.
And
your brother and sister don't go visit her?
nah, they not as much. My brother does a little bit, but
But doesn't he live right there?
he lives in Temple, which is like not that far away. It's like it's closer to her than I am. But I mean, come on, it's my brother. You know how crazy he
He
talks,
still
man.
needs to get a
Crazy.
day pass from the institution. A lot of trouble.
My brother goes, and then my mother even tells me, Mark was over here talking crazy, you know. So I go see her whenever I get a chance. But you know my schedule. I go to bed like at 7 in the morning. I work all night and I'll sleep during the day. And right when I went to bed at 7, because my mother was like, "Here's a comforter, baby. You go ahead and make yourself comfortable." And I woke up an hour later thinking the Terminator was coming through because on the roof I heard. It's like the fuck is going on with that? She had hail damage on the roof, and the roofers came at 8 o'clock to come and work on this.
I mean, if they was bugging you that much, all you had to do was go out there and yell, "La migra, la migra."
I didn't want to say anything, but that's what my mother said. She's like, "Those Mexicans do a good job, Corey."
Hey, they do.
Yeah, no, they do. I mean, no, for all the people complaining about immigration, all that kind of stuff, we love it when they're here. You know,
Yeah,
because
Man, I love Mexicans.
Such a load of bullshit accusations against Mexicans because are they lazy or are they taking our jobs?
Right.
Because they're clearly not doing both.
no,
Or they
no.
wouldn't be taking our jobs unless we're just that much lazier.
No, those are some hard-working motherfuckers, man. I mean that in the most respectful
Exactly.
way. I mean, my hat's off to them because they worked their ass off, and so they were up there working on the roof. Yeah, it was a Mexican Terminator coming through the door. Hola. But yeah, so I'm like, and then my mother had the nerve to like laugh at me. She's like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So you ain't sleeping right now, are you? And I was like,
if you want to leave.
Come with me if you want to sleep. so yeah, but we're gonna read some email right. Oh shit, what is that?
Wait, what? Email?
That's email music. Oh, boy, fuck your thoughts. Yeah, damn right now, boy.
Man, I'm so sick of that. Fuck your thoughts.
Tell me about it.
People come
Wait a minute,
on
hold on. Let the I want them to hear clearly. Okay.
Man, people come on to the Leon forum and they show up with that fuck your thoughts. And my first reaction is, what? You know what? Hey, man, fuck you. Oh, that's what this is.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't hear the original episode where it came from, so I don't know the context. But people use it as if that's the trump card for an argument.
Yeah.
You could bring up like hard data, anything, proof, and win your argument. And they go, well, you know what? Fuck your thoughts. See what? I won. And you're like, what the fuck is that shit?
See, that's so weird to me because nobody uses it like that with us ever. They just say, hey, here's the email for fuck your thoughts. Or here's an email. If you don't read it, then fuck your thoughts.
Because they know you'll savage them if you
But people actually use it like that with you, like, hey, man, well, if you think I'm wrong, then fuck your thoughts.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's great, man. I
it
love
makes me
that.
think of, like, I was dating a girl from Denmark, and I was talking to her about something. She's like, oh, fuck off. And I was like, what did you say to me? And it's like, I had to like realize, like, oh, culturally, you guys just say fuck off like it's no big deal.
Yeah, it's very
we don't do
strange.
that here.
It's like in England, they say cunt about everything. Like,
Yes.
That's like calling somebody a dummy. It's like, you cunt. And it's like, what? You say that here, you're going to have a pack of rabid feminists going Wolverine crazy on your ass, man.
Wait.
Cannot say that word in America.
What word was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
The C word. It's the feminine version of the N word.
the see you next
here.
Tuesday.
Okay. All right. I got what word that is. I learned the hard way myself.
But anyway.
All right.
Email!
Here's an
I
email.
learned it from a British guy.
Here's an email from someone regarding Leog. Fuck your thoughts, Leog.
Yeah, fuck your thought, Leon. No, this is from Tommy. And Tommy says,
No, I'm not. I thought it was Timmy Cupcakes.
no, this is Tommy, just straight up Tommy. He says, what do you guys think of sketch movies? And when he says sketch movies, well, I'll read the email and it'll tell you what he means. I feel that some manage to keep the laughs running for the whole film, like Kentucky Fried Movie and Monty Python's The Meaning of Life. But the majority of them have a few hilarious moments, yet always seem to run out of steam eventually, like Amazon Women on the Moon. You know, that's funny because these days, do you even think you'll see a sketch movie anymore?
I can't even remember what the last one was before they stopped doing them.
What do you mean, like spoof movies? Like,
Yeah, Kentucky Fried Movie is a perfect example.
Where it's okay.
Groove Tube.
All right, but you know what? Did you watch Disaster Movie? The only difference between a sketch movie and a disaster film type thing, because believe me, there's no plot continuity there at all, is that they don't actually flat out have points where they fade to black and go to the next thing. Because that's just a totally disconnected series of bad sketch ideas that are strung together by a loose concept.
Well, yeah, I mean, in a sketch movie, they have like sketches that are self-contained.
There was one. Oh God, what the hell was the name of it? It was
Well, that Kids in-
Extreme Movie was a sketch movie.
Was it
where there
really?
was totally really no continuity. It was all completely disconnected.
Yeah, because something like Disaster Movie tries to thread, even something stupid as that,
that's-
they try to
that's a
thread a
parody
plot
movie.
through there.
Yeah, but it's not really a plot. It's like, okay.
But they keep using the same characters throughout
Yeah.
the same thing. I mean, this is actually a sketch comedy movie where they do
Extreme
these
Well,
things.
movie
what
was
about
a
Brain
sketch.
Candy? Because
No, that was-
No, that was one long story.
Was
Yeah,
it? Okay.
yeah.
No, Extreme Movie just came out, and that's one of those, and it's terrible. Don't see it, but yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah, I think sketch movie was one of those things where they could sketch movies. It came out in a period where they could experiment with that, and it's something that's just not going to catch on anytime soon.
Even those films, I don't think did very well in the theater. They were more
Probably
like cult
not.
after the fact on DVD, which would be why we're not seeing a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
I mean, people want a running thread, or they get bored. That's more
yeah.
suited towards television.
I guess the thing you get the closest to with that is the comedy concert movie, something like Spillcom with John Leguizamo or something where they play
Does
different
he do
characters.
different sketches in
He
that?
does different characters. Yeah, he's on stage and he does different characters where there are different sketches.
Sure,
you know,
yeah.
so
God, what was the first? He had a character. Everybody said when they did the first one with John Leguizamo. I can't remember what they used to call him. Something Mouth.
Mambo Mouth.
Yeah, Mambo Mouth. Exactly.
yeah.
Whoopi Goldberg did early in her career,
Right,
things like that.
right before she got quote unquote
Before
discovered.
she became Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Exactly. When she was a Broadway actress. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to see any more movies like that. I think that time is done. That's what television
Well,
is
yeah,
for.
we got sketch comedy shows, although they did just cancel Mad TV finally.
Really? That was still on the air?
Yeah.
It's Mad. More like Who Gives a Shit TV.
Yeah, no, they did finally end that. But yeah, no, you're right. Sketch movies. I mean, you have this thing now called cable, which we get things.
You got Comedy Central now.
Yeah,
So there's no reason for that.
You don't need to go to a movie theater to see that. So let's
Tommy,
see here.
can you hear us? That's what we're saying.
Hear me? Okay, let's see. This is from you.
From me, I didn't send email to your crappy show.
Fuck you. Fuck your thoughts. And it does say a question for Let's Do This and fuck your thoughts. If you're smart, you will read this.
Okay.
Threats.
Here's the
Well, you wouldn't want anyone. He gets all upset when people accuse him of not being smart, so we're obviously going to read this.
let's see. He says, name a.
Assuming he can.
Okay, this is one of these questions.
made no
See,
goddamn sense.
I'll read you the question and then we'll make fun of it
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
answer.
yeah.
I'll read the question to
Now,
you.
who's it from?
It's from you. That's his name. From you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And it says,
That's where I got confused.
here's the question. Now, y'all gonna don't kill me. I'm just a messenger. Name a point in your life you wish it could have gone differently. Fuck birth, motherfucker. That's what.
This question?
Yeah. Nice. Cyrus for the win.
Yeah. Man, that's such a general ass question. Come on, man. Get with the fucking program. You know better than that. If you've been listening to this shit at all, you know these questions get made fun of. Have something specific. All right.
I just wanted to get on the air.
All right. Here's
Read
one
his
from
name, he won.
here's one from
Now you're smart.
Irvin. And this is kind of I can already tell this is kind of a question that will bring up some discussion here. The milk about to be eaten by the goat. A question about pretentiousness in film. How can you tell if a film is pretentious, or how do you define pretentiousness in film? Here's what he thinks. He says, personally, I think the word pretentious is tossed around way too easily by people to dismiss films, usually art house fare. They didn't understand or comprehend. But for me, I define it as being a film that tries way too hard to be different, artsy, even when the story doesn't really require it, or trying to convey an important message in itself. And put like this email right here. Like,
Here's the problem.
go ahead.
I
thought this would be a
I've
good
thought
good
about
question.
this a lot, and
Okay.
to be honest, I don't think it's a word that means anything. It's like saying, yeah, I thought that film was funny. One guy does. The other guy thinks it was fucking lame and not funny at all. It is one of the most subjective terms, and it's applied usually to stuff where people either don't understand it or just don't get it. It doesn't speak to them. I mean, I can go look at a painting that I go, what in the fuck do people think that this is art for? I think it's terrible. I think that's pretentious. Somebody else might get the fucking chills looking at that thing. I don't know what that is. Do you know what it is? I don't. You can use the word pretentious all you want, but all it does is make me think you're kind of a jackass for using it. That's just my opinion.
Do you have
about it.
anything to add?
It's so funny this would get brought up because I had somebody recently write me about like some of the films I have listed in my worst of list. He picked 4 of the films and said, "What is it you hate about these films?" And I was like, "Dude, I am not going to give you a list of the things I hate about these films. Take my time out to do this only so you can write me back and go like, well, you're wrong and you're wrong and you're wrong. I got better shit to do." All right, fair enough. You found a way to get around my argument. Have a nice day. And I was like, okay, fine. This is what I hate about these movies. And one of them was Waking Life. So having this so freshly in my mind, to me, this is a pretentious movie in the fact that it's full of indie hipsters all espousing about, they're going on about philosophy. They're droning on. It has the idea that what they're saying, everybody who makes this film, who talks, has the idea that what they're saying is something profound that everybody wants to listen to. When in fact, all they're doing is regurgitating everything you learn in the Philosophy 101 class. They aren't really processing it. They aren't adding anything new to it. They aren't looking at like how this applies to life. They're just going like, well, Nietzsche said this and Sartre said this. And it goes on and on with no narrative, without any kind of like building from one thing to the next. So it's not even like really audience friendly, except for people who are that kind of hipster,
right,
to use the word again, pretentious generation who would watch this and feel like, oh, I get this where other people don't because I'm smarter than everybody else.
I hated that movie too.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't think I could throw that term in.
Well, no,
I thought it was
yeah.
trying to speak to a very certain crowd that do like that sort of thing. It's trying to speak to that 20 to 25-year-old who just discovered all the shit and are amazed that anyone else are even discussing it.
Yeah, see, I agree with him. That's the kind of movie where See, no, well, let me say this. The word pretentious could probably be applied more to people with more definity than a movie, because where you say Waking Life is something where it speaks to these people and you don't understand and you think it's being phony, somebody else is going to come along and say, well, this is what I think, and because they think this, it's their opinion, and that word holds no weight. But however, you've been around some people where you can tell that this is not their personality, this is not who they are, and not only are they pretending, you can tell, but they are getting things wrong, and you can definitely look at people and say, this motherfucker's being pretentious. And everybody will say, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you feel when we saw the movie Topsy Turvy?
I never actually sat through that.
Again,
Well, Corey and I saw it with people who clearly, probably did a dissertation on Gilbert and Sullivan.
No,
who
no,
laughed
yeah.
extra hard at the jokes in there.
now, again, that's about the people, not so much the movie itself. Because Topsy Turvy, I think,
true,
was being.
true. You know what, you're absolutely right.
No, Topsy Turvy was a movie where I think it was made by people who sincerely
Yeah.
loved the subject that they were talking about.
I like Gilbert and Sullivan.
Yeah,
I
no,
haven't
not so
seen
much to
that.
say that's a movie
But-
about Gilbert and Sullivan.
But
And
I
those
don't think
people
there's
were.
anything wrong with making niche movies. That doesn't make it pretentious.
Well, the people
It's just not made for you.
Well, here's the deal: in the movie theater, not the movie itself, you could tell these people knew a lot about Gilbert and Sullivan, and they wanted to talk about it and whatnot, the Pirates of Penzance and all them. And then when you have the people in the audience who, okay, it's a chuckle. I don't care what you say; it's not anything that's a guffaw. And when those people want to let you know that they get it, and they're like, ah, ha, 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 at the same thing at a Shakespeare movie, Shakespeare's dry. I'm sorry, it is not
never
roll over
laughed
laughter.
out loud at a
No,
Shakespeare.
and when they say a line of Shakespeare and somebody in the audience is going like, ah, ha, 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 they're not laughing because it is that funny. They're laughing to say, I get this, and maybe you don't because you're not laughing as hard. And those people are pretentious, not the movie
I
itself.
think you're right. I don't think art can be pretentious, but people can.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'll accept that.
Hey, Corey.
Yes.
Another perfect example is the ending of No Country for Old Men, or the people who say they understand the ending, and they come tell you all about it.
Oh, you and I,
You mean the lack of an ending.
No, you and I have had this argument. I mean, not you and I, but we've been around
People
Yes.
who've done the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
So have I.
No, somebody will come up, and here's the pretentiousness in that person. Now, it's not so much the movie itself, because if they come in and say, "Hey, look, man, this is what I got out of the movie," I mean, what can you do? You can't argue with that. But then people come up and they say, "You know something? You really don't understand
You
because
just
you
wanted a Hollywood shootout."
Well, that's what people say. And not only in that, but they say, "Well, you see, without knowing you, they say, well, you are the kind of person that you like mainstream big budget movies, and you don't want to be." See, I'm not the kind of person to talk shit about myself at a party or anything, but it's at that moment I'm like, hey, motherfucker, do you know what I do for a living? Let me tell you. And not only that, but Hi and I, we argued this motherfucker down one night. He was on the floor almost at the end of it, just kind of like, okay, man, you got me.
I was right. I'm right there with you guys on this one. You know we are. We did a big review on this. We've answered questions about it a billion times. Every time we bring it up, hell, we're going to get 80 questions on our pages because of this. I watched and reviewed that Blu-ray DVD with like 5 hours of fucking extras on it.
Wow.
Didn't tell me anything I didn't already know as far as what they were trying to say with that film. And I still go, you know what? I understand completely what they were trying to say, but it was bullshit. Okay?
Yeah.
You can't set up a narrative like that and then yank the rug out and go, aha!
But see, like I told him,
felt like I do the same accusation in the movie Funny Games.
I
It's the
just
same fucking thing.
I just had a talk the other night with somebody about No Country for Old Men, and I could not argue with them because they said, for me, and from that moment on, it's kind of like, okay, you're not speaking for me, and they were saying, that movie to me was something where it worked out like life. At one moment, it could seem like things are working out like a movie, and for the next moment, real life comes in, and it's just kind of normal or bland. And what can I say to that?
You just said it. For 1 minute, it seems it was like a movie. That's because the whole thing was like a movie. It was tense and dramatic and was setting you up to a conclusion. We just needed a conclusion and to make a point of like, well, you know what? Life doesn't always happen that way.
Now,
it does that in a sort of sense of going to the audience, pointing its finger, going, how dare you expect this to have a conclusion after us spending 2 hours
but you see,
telling you a really incredible dramatic story.
Now, what if I come
leading
in
to
and I
one?
say, but all right, that's you, but for me, I really got a fulfilling experience out of it. What could you do?
I would say you're a pretentious douchebag. And I'm not gonna talk
See,
to you
that's what I'm
anymore.
saying.
I wouldn't say
That's
that,
all
but
subjective,
I'd
you
go,
know?
You know what? Hey, that's your thing then.
No, it would be like I got something different out of it. Now, if I just said, hey, man, I understand your point of view. I'm being very friendly. Like, hey, man, I understand that. It's just, I didn't see it that way, but I respect you. Now, if I came up to you and said, well, Cyrus, you know what? You just kind of dumb.
No, when someone throws that shit like, "Oh, you're a dumbass because you don't understand this," then that is, I think, the very definition of
Yeah, I'm very fair with people, man. I
agree with you.
I don't attack people on their opinions. I attack people when they attack me through saying
you guys didn't understand soul playing like I understood soul playing.
the subtext.
Okay, maybe that's one where I've tried to argue that with so many people, and I won't even get into that because I'm gonna do is get mad.
Yo, that kills me when somebody's like, "Why don't you like Soul Plane? That movie is funny." I'm like, don't even get me started on this.
No, that is one of those.
Because I got other shit I need to do today.
And let's be clear, I can say I think a movie is completely fucking stupid and retarded and its jokes aren't funny. And that's not the same thing as me calling someone who says, "Hey, I like that movie," as me turning around going, "Well, you're stupid, dumb, and retarded."
Sure.
For all I know, you have your own very specific sense of humor that deviates entirely from mine, that you find that really funny. You were brought up in an environment where your dad used to fart on your head. I don't know.
Right.
But, I mean, what are you going to do? You find funny what you do. For me, it was dumb, fucking retarded, stupid humor.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that's you. Unless you like Soul Plane, in which you are. I mean, it's not just a movie. You yourself are dumb.
I mean,
You're so pretentious.
I'd like I heard about the Cannes Film Festival. Now, I'm going to close this discussion off real quick so we can go to another email. But you guys, I mean, you'll see what I'm talking about. I heard about one of the winners at the festival, and one of the movies that won was a movie where I think it's a Korean film. It's about these guys who kidnap a hooker, sexually abuse her, and then dismember her at the end of the movie. And that's what the movie is. Now I'm thinking that's pretentious to me because that's somebody who's really just trying to get a reaction. They're not really trying to do anything.
If someone described a movie like Old Boy to you from the outside with just the minimum of facts, you could react in that same way, but that would be ridiculous.
No, this movie is what I just said. That's the big deal about it. No, that's what. No,
Did you see it?
Listen to me. No, there were people who said that is the big thing about this movie at Cannes, that this is what the movie is. Like the way you describe it, that's what it is. Now, I didn't see it, but people are saying this movie is just that, and it's trying to get a reaction out of you. Now, the person who's a juror at Cannes is like, she's this woman who loves movies that gets a reaction through extreme things like sex and violence. So this movie won this, and now you got all these arguments from people who are defending it and people who are against it. So you can see how even something like one person considers to be pretentious still succeeds on a certain level.
I can't judge it till I've seen it. Like I said, I can't agree with you at all until I see it.
I haven't seen it either, so I'm not agreeing with this. But
Irreversible, I was like, I don't want to see that fucking movie. And then someone else was like, another friend, Mark Savlov, I believe it was, another critic, like, no, dude, you have to see this movie. I know it sounds just like some exploitation film, but you have to see it.
Well,
I'm not. Right.
I'm not judging the movie itself. I'm just saying that this is a movie that is divided people. One saying this movie is the pretentious side, and this movie is like, oh, I can explain this to you.
Sam Peckinpah's Straw Dogs had the same reaction when that came out in theaters. Critics were totally divided. Is this just exploitation for the sake of exploitation? Is this just hateful, or does it actually have a point? Now, at the time, that was really shocking. Now we can look at it a little separated and go, you know what, this is a really fucking good movie.
Yeah.
It has a lot to say. But, shock value can really divide audiences in that way.
Okay, let's see. Here's a good question here. What are some of the worst films that you've seen that you could over and over watch again because of its sheer awfulness or unintentional hilarity? This guy says, and this is from Rabbit Scotsman. He says, my top one is Batman and Robin. Allow me to cut the ice, Mr. Freeze.
I cannot. I can't watch any more than 15 minutes of that movie. And I try.
It's just the puns. You're like, you know what? If the puns were gone, I probably could watch it and laugh at it for being bad. But the puns are too painful.
There's just way too much money spent on that movie.
Well, is there any movie that you can think of?
Beyond the Valley of the Dolls.
Okay.
That's one of those movies, it's a B movie, but I don't think it's awful. I think it knew exactly what it wanted to be. If they were trying to make a movie that was really genuinely good and came up with that, then I'd agree with you. But they weren't. They were going for a B film, and I think it works great on that level.
But except there's so many parts of it that are beyond B. They're more like Z. There's just some like some of the voiceover and the narration.
But it's funny how giant naked boobies on hot chicks waving around.
That is the thing that pulls me back into watching it all over again.
Yeah, you're not allowed to bring that up at his funeral, by the way. I'm kind of a Pootie Tang guy myself for my movie. That I still think that's a horrible movie.
You took mine. Actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I just think it's terrible, but I can't stop watching it.
Actually, you know what? I can go for another one. One of my favorite movies of all time is, and I love this movie. I watch this movie more than any other movie, and it is
Human Tornado?
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
It is like, and this guy made it thinking he was making some serious shit.
Yeah.
Rudy Ray Moore.
That is one. That's one of the top ones.
But it is so funny. That is like, and the Disco Godfather.
Well, Disco Godfather, it really doesn't really go into high gear until the last 15 minutes. Like, you can watch the beginning. All the rest of the stuff is bad. It gets a little boring at times. But you have to tell people, like, just hang in there for the last 15 minutes, no matter what you do.
But you're right. I mean, but there's some.
Well, shit. I mean, we're going this way. Story of Ricky.
Yes.
That's a bad movie.
That's one
but
of those, like, so excessive that you watch it because it's excessive.
Yeah.
That's excessiveness wins because you're like, I can't believe they just fucking did that.
Oh, you know what? One of my favorite movies is one that's notorious and no one likes it except for me, I think, is Magical Mystery Tour by the Beatles.
I've never actually seen that.
I've never been able to get through it.
Really? I love Magical Mystery Tour, man. I don't know why.
It wasn't available on videotape at all when I was still doing LSD and psychedelic drugs, so I never saw it. And now I don't want to.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, that's the only way you want to see that movie. There's no. It's
yeah.
not like Pink Floyd's The Wall. Well, yeah, you'll probably enjoy it more on LSD, but it's still a decent enough movie. No. Magical Mystery Tour is well acknowledged as only being
See, that is the movie for me. Like, I know no one else likes it, and I'll be the guy that says, you know what, I have to say that I like it. I for some reason I enjoy it.
You know, it's
trippy, man.
I might actually like it because I like everything, or as I call them, kitchen sink movies, which I would even describe Night at the Museum too. That's why I kind of liked it, because it's just like they just keep throwing shit till it's ridiculous, and you're like, okay, I'm sitting here enjoying this, just seeing what they're gonna do, stupid shit they're gonna pull next. There's a movie called Waxworks that's like that. Waxworks and
Waxworks 2 is worse.
Waxworks 2 is even worse, but
Yeah.
they're hysterical, dude. You're just like, this is the dumbest shit ever, but it's awesome.
Yeah, no, man, you know something? I have a collection of movies of DVDs back there because Carlisle was always making fun of me. He's like, you love shitty movies. I'm like, yeah, you know, I do. So I probably have a lot. Hey, here's a good question right here. Brandon McShawn says, which movies do you think are the greatest of all time? Well, I'm sorry, which movie series do you think are the greatest of all time? And that means with all the movies and all that series being good. If you can't think of any, I have one, but you guys go ahead if you can.
Is that insinuating one that every movie in the series managed to be good, or at least, you know?
And I guess that's considered to be for you. Like if you liked every movie in that series, then it's probably the best series of all for you.
I couldn't honestly say. I mean, obviously the first 3 Star Wars films are I can still watch.
And he says Star Wars doesn't count because it got
that
prequels.
series. That counts as other 3 too.
I know,
he says that right there.
Almost totally negate how good the first ones are.
You know, I'll go ahead and say I think the movies that have been like they started out okay and they've risen and maintained a certain level of quality.
Friday the 13th.
Yes, both. Freddy Krueger's, Harry Potter. No, that was going to be mine. Harry Potter. The Harry Potter series has
just gotten better.
Yeah, they've been, and they even reached a point where you could say this one's better than that. But they're at a certain level of quality that they've maintained, and I think that's the best. And come on, man, we're talking about how many movies now? High 6 movies. Yeah, we're talking about 6 movies that have been consistently of some good quality.
That's true. I guess if I had to answer, because you got to go with low numbers, I would go with Mad Max. And I'm not crazy about the third one, but I don't think it's a bad movie.
It's still a good movie.
It's cool. That was the most quoted, I think.
After
the third one?
Okay.
After Road Warrior, it's kind of a letdown in that
because Road Warrior is just so good.
Well, yeah, Road Warrior is so amazing, and then this slows down a lot. It brings a whole ton of little kids into it. Yeah. But it's still not a bad movie. It's just a disappointment by comparison.
Right.
Yeah. Although it's funny, rewatching Mad Max, I'm like, you know what? This feels like it's not even part of the series. It feels like a totally different movie. Well, I mean, and it's good as kind of a drier drama.
I don't know if anybody's like, if you like buy Mad Max, it has like the Max pop-up facts, which I would recommend highly because all the stuff you read about it was shot almost as an afterthought because it was like supposed to be. It was they were making a documentary about cars in Australia, and they were like, "Wow, we got all these cars here, and we got this kid Mel Gibson and all these other people." You know what? Let's just make a real movie. Let's just write a story to go with it. Yeah. So it just came together that way.
Right now, Toy Story is starting to look like. I mean, hell, if this third one ends up being
that's
good,
true.
This will be one of my favorite series ever.
When you said series, I'm counting more than 2. But Toy Story and Toy Story 2. When we say what is a perfect movie and a perfect sequel,
somebody said perfect movie. My first answer is Toy Story 2.
Some of the best movies with 1s and 2s in them are like Toy Story, Aliens. and Alien and Terminator. You know, I mean, those are
Well,
movies.
Terminator has that one annoying bit that the Cyrus edit would just get rid of. That whole "I now know why you cry." Even when I was a kid, ruined that ending for me. I was like, man, that whole movie was so awesome. And then you had to come back to that thing earlier. Why do you cry? Where Schwarzenegger tried to emote. You're a Terminator. Fucking stop it.
All right. I got one more question here from Sam S. Question for the goats who eat their own milk. Eat this, bitch, he says.
Wow, such nice fans.
I know. We get this all the time. Answer this fucking question. I'll kick your ass. Let's see. He says,
Is that what it says?
No, we've got those kind of emails.
Jesus.
The people just love getting attention. This guy says, as much as I can't stand Brett Ratner's fat ass and couldn't be more pissed off that he's directing Beverly Hills Cop 4, I do love Rush Hour. He says, what is... Oh, Howard's back there. And I looked up and Howard was looking right at me. Just like, he said expression on his face. I was like, you motherfucker.
Rush Hour is his... that's the thing you don't put, button you don't want to push.
He says,
Niagara Falls.
Step by step. He says, what are some movies you really enjoyed made by directors that you aren't crazy about or really just don't like at all? Well, if you want to speak about Brett Ratner, I did like Red Dragon. And Mac G is somebody who I couldn't stand just because of the name. I don't like the Charlie's Angels movies at all, but I did like Terminator Salvation.
So you kept saying during the review, he's a good director. I'm like, really? Where? Because every movie he's ever made is shit, and this is mediocre.
I think he found, hey, this is a guy, this is his latest project, and I think he found his calling with this. I think, like Leon said in that review, he's an action director.
Yeah, I can't agree. I think he's just a bad director. Sorry. I hand it to the guys who were in the computer room building those special effects. They did a good job. But even the concepts of the action scenes, with the exception of the robot with motorcycles for legs, was just nothing new. Nothing I hadn't seen before. It's like, okay, it's all right, but it's not.
This isn't about going against me. This is about what is a director.
Why you can't let the man answer, but I'm trying to undercut it.
I'm
Exactly.
sorry. I'm still just
Jesus,
mad about
man.
Terminator. That's all. I apologize. You're absolutely right, Corey. I apologize.
I'm fucking with you, man.
You're a man of quality. You know that?
Okay, now no need for that goddamn sarcasm
When
over
you
there.
choose a wine, you choose a fine wine. Like
Choose
Night Train.
I'm gonna choose an empty beer bottle and throw this shit at you. What do you? No, do you have one?
Wait, what was the question? Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm not a big Joel Schumacher fan, but I think Tigerland is a really astonishingly great film.
Wow,
which
we
was
just
his
brought him up
first
the other night.
Big film.
Wow.
What?
Because you almost stole my answer.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
you're picking one of his others. I know what the
Yeah.
other one is.
I know
but-
which one
but
of
go
it is for
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
Falling down.
Falling Down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is one of the maybe his only other film I really like that much.
Lost Boys. You know you like Lost,
Lost
Boys,
Boys is
when
one
it
of
came
those
out.
when it
When it
came
came out,
out.
you loved it.
And then you watch
don't
it
lie.
now, and you're like, wow.
Well, it's just so cheesy. It's such a product of its time.
Yeah.
That's the
But
problem.
that's,
Yeah.
most of his films are dated in that
True.
fashion, and that's one of the problems with him as a director. The only other answer for me would have been Tim Burton, but honestly, there's probably about 4 of his films.
Yeah, that's still
Well,
there.
the one thing I can't say, my answer was Falling Down from Joel Schumacher. But I remember back when, you guys will know which year this was, but there was this guy who's popping up on every talk show, and they were like, yeah, he's got a new movie, and we're going to talk to this guy. And he would ramble on and talk about how awesome he was. And it was fucking Quentin Tarantino talking about his new movie, Pulp Fiction. And I couldn't stand that motherfucker just looking at him on talk shows. I was like, I can't wait to see his movie so I can hate it. And it's probably my second favorite movie of all time.
Yeah. That being said, you're not a big fan of the rest of his movies.
Yeah, the rest
like
of them.
Reservoir Dogs, though.
I like Reservoir Dogs. And the rest of them I'm kind of like, about.
All right, next question.
Well, that's it, man.
That's it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's it. Yeah, we got
There's no more questions?
Yeah.
No,
there's
we're
usually when y'all do a Let's Do This, the sun is coming up. When
I
y'all
was going to
get
say.
done.
I told you,
I think
yeah.
y'all are
we-
still recording the last one.
No,
right now
exactly.
on some parallel-
Well, there's a vortex going on that you're trapped in. And you can't get out. No, we're done, man. See, these things go fast. You make fun of us like shit, man. You know, how can y'all go so long? Now you see how we sit up here and just bullshit. When you bullshit, man, time flies. You don't know.
That's
so,
true. Yeah.
Cyrus is looking at me like, no, it doesn't.
I'm looking into that vortex at the end of Ghostbusters right now that you're talking about.
That door,
Co-host
man.
is sitting at the edge of it going, there is
No Corey, only Zoom.
When you mix alcohol and bullshit, time does seem to go through a warp.
We did that tonight, and
especially if
that's
there's a
it.
possibility of getting laid. You notice how that works?
Wait a
You'll
minute,
hang
what?
out all night at a lame
that is
party.
true.
Oh, were you at somewhere? Yeah,
You'll
you
hang
just
out
sit.
all night, hanging out, talking to people you don't even like. If there's
You're like
chance.
a hunter in a deer blind.
Yeah, but ain't nothing worse when you about to cross into that dimension and that door shuts on your ass. It's like shit. But that's it, y'all. I mean, okay, people, that's it. Thank you guys for showing up, even though you've never invited me on to your Leog shit.
We did.
We did.
Remember,
Hey,
it
man,
was
we
the
had
lost
you.
episode.
Yeah, the greatest episode of all time.
Yeah,
They
the
got
Halloween
lost by
episode that got
Cyrus's idiot friend.
Oh, that's right. That was that one.
Yeah, sorry. We did have you in there.
Y'all owe
and
me.
you actually were there for the last one, but you just disappeared. You
I know, man. What
came in
happened?
and
You
just
came in,
walked
you
off.
said hi. You said, I'm going to go work back here. And I was like, I never saw him again.
I disappeared. Yeah, no. What happened was I showed up and you guys were just getting started. I thought you might have been kind of finishing. And so, and look, to be honest, I said it'll be good to go over there and talk to the guys when they're done and use your internet because I didn't have an internet. And I said, I'll go there and get some work done and then I'll hang out. But you guys were still like recording. So I said, you know what? I don't want to interrupt their session. So I'm just going to sneak out the back while they're recording.
We were all like, he came in. We're like, Corey! And
Yeah.
then he's gone. So it's not like we were like, oh, fuck.
Hey man, like what was I gonna do? Just interrupt your recording? Oh, okay, I'm gone. Y'all would have been like, get the fuck out of here. So
Everybody else does.
yeah, so I've learned. So
we
anyway,
did this.
yeah, you did this and you
did this.
survived.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you are true bullshitters, professionals.
Right now,
And we will
Leon's,
live to bullshit another day.
day. Let me
Leon's
get
sitting in a pool of his own sweat that's slowly creeping towards me.
here. Let me
Happy birthday.
let me pin these shit medals on you right here since you survived this.
Yes, I can hardly wait to get home and pet me some goatsy.
Hi, wake up. So that's it, y'all. So next week, maybe things will be back to normal. We'll just be coming back from out of town. Yes, people, if you're listening to this, the London Spill Party is going on next week. That's going to be on Saturday the 30th. If you're in London and you're hanging out, come on and hang out with us. Go on to Nick Hodges' profile page. You'll have all the details on there. Co-host and I will be there. But if you can't make it, well, then listen to us next week when we're back. So thank you, punk asses.
And this Friday, they expect a new all-out drunken Leog.
Oh, there you go.
And Corey is auditioning for a new ship for his port in London. So, any girls there?
Please, yes. I'm bringing my couch with me so I can cast you on it. So that's it, y'all. So thank you for showing up. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Where's
y'all.
my money?
Off your ass.